All right. Good morning, everybody. We have a special guest here today. My friend Todd actually traded in the pits from 1988 to 2016. So we're going to show him some new stuff here today.
An old dinosaur, new tricks.
Yeah, old dinosaur, new tricks. But he's been probably trading longer than everybody here. But maybe Perry, but down in the pits of Chicago. So full-time career trader from 88 to 2016, which is, before I was born. Alrighty here. So, just moving on, we're gonna start off with the NASDAQ here, and I know Perry was saying we're up at that call wall, but we're also at the 78% of the entire range from that all-time high, which was my premium level for today. That's why I got that marked up here with this dashed line. We're right at that 78%. We've been in an uptrend since basically Friday, like Perry said, we broke that one time framing down. And on Friday, we had this really sloppy 50% retracement. And my expectation is that we come down into that next measured move, which is going to be Friday's low drawn to the current overnight high. And that's going to line up with Perry's volume profile level, or I think he said 24,712s, I believe was it, or within 5 points of that. The level I'm drawing right here from the low of Friday to the current high is going to be 24,714. So that's going to be an important level here today. I'm going to create an alert at that point. The only other super aggressive situation is maybe an extension continuation from Friday, but I'm not going to draw that until 10 o'clock East Coast time. I'll look at that sequence. If anything, I'm expecting a reversion back lower, but it's just hard when I'm biased long to actually want to trade that mean reversion. I don't want to trade or counter trend trade. I'd rather just be patient for the long. So even though I think we're at the upper end of where we should go and the risk reward ratio favors to the downside, I am not quite sure if I'm willing to pull the trigger on that because the better trade is a continuation to the upside. But then again, we might be waiting until the afternoon to see that. That's 24,714. That's going to be your be patient level here for the day. And then if we do see some type of distribution like price action that I feel like I can actually start maybe getting short, but we're coming off of just having a new high the overnight session, and I'm not willing to just short into the high. Now, if we break through, which could happen in the first 5 minutes, some of these swing lows, then we're going to have an opportunity to sell against a high. And at that point in time, I'll recalculate and redigest some of that. If we run a little higher, be aware that negative 61 at 24,940s. If we see some rejection there, that's going to be that negative 61 from Friday's accumulation points on that 50% retracement. So I'm also going to set an alert up there. Moving on to the S&P 500. The thing is, the S&P, although the S&P is at that 78% of the range, so that's that all-time high, too low. That's typically just a point that can be hard to get through. The ES in the S&P held more technically on its low on Friday. While the NASDAQ was breaking the 61, the S&P 500's low from Thursday to the high of Friday stayed above at 61. That last touch, that 50% retracement, which was also the midpoint for the day, held very technically, just dipped in a few ticks. We've run all the way to that negative 23. So as far as accuracy on technical levels, the S&P I'm going to be favoring here today. And that next measured move, if we were to draw that swing low from the morning too high, that's going to be down here at the overnight low, 66.97s. If that doesn't trade today, maybe even tomorrow, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to that. It will trade at some point this week. We will come halfway back from Friday's low to whatever the new high ends up being. And that is going to be a level where I would call it a blind limit, which just means that I'm willing to limit that level whether I'm at my desk or not. I know I'm not going to need to be able to see or want to see the price action there because I'm going to be confident enough in that support that I can, place a limit with that level as long as I got my stop in, of course. and it could trade at any time of the day, whether I'm sleeping or not. But we are up at that 78% of the range. We were up at the profit targets of Friday. The trend is higher, but we are too extended for me to want to really be long at this open. So I'm going to be either watching us come in, or if we can establish and continue to stay up higher here, we'll then be drawing potential extensions from Friday's high, which you can actually see have already traded here this morning off their 38. They've already had a bid from Friday's high to the overnight high off that 38% retracement. And if that sequence were to hold into the open, that's what the bulls really need to see um, to keep it up here. So that's what I have for these indexes, and I will actually share these in the Discord, these levels for those of you guys who have Thinkorswim. I'll share these levels in the trade plan. Moving on to oil and gold to pull this into view. So for gold, let's just back out at the daily and just continue. I'm going to want a reminder of how bullish gold has been. It is absolutely the strongest market that we look at, and continues to just be a no short market. I mean, if you're going to stay short this thing, I don't want you short for longer than 25 minutes. If the move is not fast to the downside on a short, then absolutely get out of it. We traded the 50% retracement on the Sunday night open. This was a beautiful opportunity, midpoint of the prior day, the 50% retracement. We have run all the way through these targets here, and we have begun trading the extension from the high of Friday. Now, overnight, we've already run this once to target. That same anchor new high actually just showed Todd this, was explaining how extensions work, has traded here this morning, and we do seem to be coming off of it. That gives us a new upside target of 38.71. If at any point in time we do break down below this extension, I fully expect the next traditional to trade. So just that Sunday night low to the current high, that is a 38.23 right now. I have an alert set there. If we trade that, it's also going to be the upper mid. It's an actionable level that I'm willing to participate on. So I have an alert there. I don't know if we're going to get down there. Otherwise, we're going straight up to that 38.71. So I'm gonna also set an alert above there so I can be aware when that trades. And then if we go on to CL, I did try along here this morning. We are continuing through those support levels. I'm gonna back out. We are in, this was where I wanted us to either hold, or maybe we're going to continue all the way to the bottom of the range, which very well looks like a possibility. Last week on Friday, we swept through, liquidity swept through like a monthly high, and we have now rolled over. And today we're seeing a lot of participation on the short side, looking for continuations lower. So let's go in and identify any potential sequences that are leading to downside targets. And the first thing I have here, there is an extension short from the, where is it? It is from the first traditional. So we had this halfway back out of lows. This extension traded once. We've traded it twice on Friday, and it seems like that third same anchor new low. We ticked the 38 last night at 2:50 in the morning. So European Open, we're completely blowing through those profit targets down here. So at this point in time, I'm going to draw that same anchor to the new low. We are pretty extended. Let's see if we get down to that negative 100. I want to know where that is actually. So 63.47 would be us blowing through absolutely all targets. So if we get below 63.47 at that point in time, this would be pretty oversold. But if we can rally up into now, if we can rally up into the previous low of the day, 64.70 to 65, the $65 level are going to be where I'm looking for my next potential short now that we have broken lower. There was an attempt to kind of put in a bottom here with an ATR down, immediately reversal. There was actually even one participation on a long sequence that went to targets, and then as soon as we rolled over, you can see stops are getting hit, and we're probably going down to that 63.50 zone at this point in time. So that's what I got in oil and gold here. We're kind of opening in a no trade zone for most of these markets, besides maybe gold, which is a one-way train higher. Really would avoid trading the short side of GC. Just focus on longs, be patient for those. That is what's working. And then one of the things I'll watch here for this morning for these indexes is if we can get below some fair value gaps on different time frames. So I'm gonna just pull up the NASDAQ here. We are below the fair value gap on the 15-minute and the 1 minute, but if we can get below on the hourly chart, which is really anything below 24,862, that is going to bring us lower. If we can get below that level, so 24,862, let me switch over to, where is that? There we are. I'm going to just mark that up. 24,862. If we can get below and stay below that level, we're probably going to get that reversion down to that value area high zone. So with that being said, that'll wrap up my morning comments, and we're going to open here in about 4 minutes. I'm going to go through and share these levels, and then when we open, I'll jump back on the mic with you guys, and let me know if you have any questions in the Discord. Coming off these 78% retracements here in the morning, ES is gonna, what I would love to actually see is if the ES traded its 50% of this extension and then ran to its target and faded from there.
Yeah.
We got 1 minute to open. Let's see here, I'm gonna pull, oh, like, I shared my levels, guys, in the Discord as well. Todd's gonna place our first trade.
Sell.
Sell,
Martimer, sell.
Todd's gonna just do the hand signals.
Yeah.
You got them all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have those down. I've never used them.
They're worthless now.
That's funny. Yeah, how many monitors do you have? Like a couple monitors that you use at your house, or not that
I
you need a whole
I
bunch,
don't, but
but
I mean I have
they're
one big
cheap.
one. I know they're so cheap. So how fast of a you got to have a huge system over here.
Oh, this thing's pretty big, but like this is
I
a
mean this is
beast.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is probably that. What year is that? This thing's
This is like 5 years old,
yeah.
4 years old.
I mean, honestly, most of the bandwidth that I need is for streaming,
Yeah,
as opposed to these, you know, there's not a ton. I know what Perry runs because there's he pulls a lot of data.
yeah.
He has mostly from what I understand is how much RAM you really need.
Hmm.
I think there's 64 in this, which is
Oh
this
my
thing.
gosh, yeah,
This laptop's 11 pounds, and I have
yeah.
another computer under there
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I actually used to run that on these.
MLT.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a company I used to be a
Oh
part of.
no,
Yeah.
there's a guy I knew. His acronym was MLT.
That's
Multi.
funny.
Guy was character.
I'm sure that I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of characters in the
Oh, there
bits.
was.
Did you know Porcelino?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know his kids.
he's a big S&P trader.
Yeah, they called him number one.
Yeah,
That's pretty ridiculous.
yeah,
If he called number one in
yeah.
the
He
S
was
and
a
P,
maniac.
yeah, he still maybe is.
Yeah, he's in what is he trucking now or something?
He does a couple things. I mean,
Yeah,
I see
he's
him
done a
pop.
bunch of.
I see him pop up now and then in the trading world.
Really?
He did a documentary with Tom.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah, it's actually
Wow.
worth watching. It's like his family story. Like his dad was like whacked by the mob.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he kind
I
of
believe
goes in.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
he's a pretty
Borsellini. Yeah,
yeah, he's a pretty tough guy. Like you know,
yeah.
Melrose Park, the old
Right.
you
Yeah, I
you
knew
know
his
the type.
cousin. Yeah, I knew his cousin. I know a bunch of guys from Taylor Street. I
Yeah,
was with.
yeah, not too much Little Italy anymore over there, but
No, sucks.
I actually, the Mario's, the ice lemonade
Uh huh.
place. Mario's my neighbor.
No,
Yeah,
really.
he lives right next to me.
Still goes back and forth to Florida, right?
So it's his grandson
Oh, it
now.
is.
So yeah, he runs the whole
Oh,
thing.
he
But
does.
yeah, he told me he worked. I think he works the whole summer, doesn't take a single day off,
Yeah.
and then he's done for the winter, which
Right.
is kind of a nice
Yeah. No.
schedule. All right, guys, we've come into that 50% in the of the ES, so we are holding that extension. We came right into that 67 19 level, and so far have bounced. So if we can hold this, we should continue up to the 67.43s. Um, that extension. I'm gonna see what it is in the NASDAQ. Like we traded the 38 there, I guess. I'm not participating on these longs, but I am observing what we've run into. Gold bidding up too. So yeah, so right now like this is these higher levels here. It's kind of like if we break those, then we'll kind of shift down to the next. But a lot of times I'm just kind of plotting things that I don't necessarily maybe don't want to trade, but just want to observe and kind of just understanding the if then statements. If we hold this, then we should go there. If it breaks, then we should trade lower. But yeah, if we cannot get above 67.30s here in the ES and not back above that 14,890s, then yeah, we should roll over. Do, 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 do. Do you do a lot of sitting around in the pit? Or
Yeah.
did you
Well, the last product I traded was dairy. It was,
oh, you trade dairy?
yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my
Cheese
God. I
and
was gonna say the trends on that must be huge. I
oh,
feel
it
like
was
that's like a
ridiculous, and it
one-way
was very
market.
illiquid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was either long or short vol, and I mean, you take it up the ass hard. So
Limit up.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen a few limits down in the indexes,
Oh
but
yeah,
I've never been stuck in one.
yeah. That's not fun. But
Well,
with
you can get
options, you
out,
can
of
get
course.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories of people getting caught in like limit up or limit
Yeah.
downs in the grain
Oh
markets.
yeah, it was brutal. But you'd go over and you hedge it with the options, which wasn't too bad.
So you were year after the 87 crash then, huh?
Yeah, I was down there for the '87
Oh,
crash.
you were?
I was a clerk,
Oh, wow.
and there was grown men crying on the floor.
Grown men crying on the
Literally, it
floor.
was sad. It was.
Oh, that's
I
not
mean, some
flying.
guys were celebrating. A lot of guys
Yeah.
were celebrating, but a lot of guys back then
Oh my
were
gosh.
short puts because you could just sell puts on the market. Because
Uh-huh.
up to '87, the market just kept going up.
Yeah.
So people would just sell puts
Uh-huh.
and walk away and collect their money.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was interesting. I mean, and then the market died. I mean, it was so quiet because nobody wanted to trade anymore.
Everybody, I'm
So
sure it wiped out a lot of
yeah,
guys then.
yeah. So then I start and customers too. So when I started, it was pretty quiet. So we'd do calendar spreads, which was, you buy the further out month, sell the short term month, and collect a little bit of money every
Yeah.
month. That's how I started trading, and then just
So you were selling the options or the futures or
well, you in a calendar spread, you sell the near term month, you buy the further out month, and then
okay.
the decay,
Okay, you collecting
you
the
collect
decay
the
on the front.
decay
Okay,
on the front month.
because like the
Yeah,
theta spread is okay.
yeah.
It's
So you'd lose,
coming in,
yeah, the theta would come in.
losing it on the later
Exactly.
option.
Right. So you'd hope that the stock wouldn't move much.
Yeah.
And, I was trading Bristol Myers back then, which didn't really move much. So, uh,
Bristol Myers. Is
yeah.
that even still its own company or they
No,
get brought?
it's
I
they
was
were bought
I
out
was gonna
by,
say I thought they had brought out. I mean,
I can't remember what it is now. Corning, I don't
is it
remember who bought
Procter and Gamble or maybe
it.
even
No.
the Koch brothers?
I don't remember
I
who
don't
bought
know.
Bristol. Maybe it is Bristol Myers. I don't. No, it's Squibb.
Yeah, Bristol
Bristol
Myers
Myers
Squibb.
Squibb.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is. Squibb now. Yeah. Um,
It's funny, I pulled up a stock watch list I had like from the years ago, and even since I've been trading, half the watch list, it was like it was called I called it my hedge fund watch list.
yeah.
There was a lot of heavy interest hedge fund
Right.
stocks. Half the list had been bought out,
Yeah.
and I was like,
It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
want
mean,
to buy. I want to get into this Medline if I can. It's
yeah,
going IPO.
there. You know what? My friend just bought the CSO's house in
No
Lake
shit.
Forest because they're out of Mundelein.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's
yeah,
a good house.
they're a good company. They're I
Great company.
remember
Everywhere you go, that's their name is in every hospital.
yeah,
Everything.
they're just what they just all those products they got.
Two families that started it,
Yeah,
and
sure.
they sold out for I think $30 billion.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I still think they have a portion of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They kept a portion.
What I mean, any medical device company. I have a friend
Oh
of
yeah.
mine. His dad. They're German. They started like they take like titanium and turn it into like screws or
Hmm.
whatever. And they own the whole chain. So manufacturing in Germany, distribution in
Right.
the United States. His dad, you know, got his company from his father,
Oh
and
yeah.
then he sold it for like 300 million. He had a non-compete. Didn't like, of course, exited, didn't like the way it was running,
Right.
like,
And
screwing
then
his employees, etc. So he starts up another one, but he puts it in his two sons'
yeah.
names because his name,
Right.
like
Yeah.
he couldn't compete. And,
Right.
they knew enough about the business where he could kind of just stand off and like
Right.
has, so, was able to get around that. And I'm like, my buddy's, he's got $100 million company under his name. He's like 35 years old. I mean, he's like the biggest nerd ever, though. I mean,
Really? Yeah.
doesn't help him have any fun in life,
Yeah.
but
Where did
it's
you
kind
grow
of
up?
funny.
You
I
grow
grew
up
up in the northwest suburbs,
Oh, by North
by like
Philly.
Lake Zurich.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh
went
yeah.
to Stevenson.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in St. Louis, but
Oh, you're
my
from St. Louis?
yeah, but my
Nice.
kids started at Buffalo Grove.
Oh,
I
okay.
lived in Buffalo Grove for
Okay, yeah, then yeah. That
'92 to 2000.
taking
So
the train into the
I
city.
didn't know we didn't
Wait,
have
do
a
you know a
train
guy
in
named
Iowa.
Mark Levin? He used to live in Buffalo Grove. He was a pit trader. He used to
Yeah.
take the train.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
His daughter Rachel.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Rachel took me to prom as her
Oh,
prom date. Yeah,
seriously?
she was a little older than I was,
Did you
but
know? How old are you?
I'm 35. I'm like that's
Do you
all.
know? Uh, Todd or no? Mandel.
Yeah,
Remember the
Jason
Duckers?
Mandel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
you
I knew.
traded with his dad. His
No way.
dad's a trader.
Yeah, I knew of Jason. I didn't know his dad was a
Any
trader.
of the
That's funny.
Taylor's kids?
Taylor, what's I mean,
Blake, Devin,
I feel like I know
Brooke,
that. I feel
Brooke
like that
Taylor?
name. I feel like I know
Yeah.
that name. I can't
Their
think of it
dad
off the
worked at
top of my.
Apt. He was a big guy. He was a salesman, but he was the
At
manager.
Apt?
ABT.
Yeah, ABT.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
But I knew them. I'm trying to think who else lived in Buffalo. Felgraver. One of the
Felgraver.
Felgraver
Yeah. I
kids.
went there for 2 years.
Oh, you
So
did? Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I wasn't in the feeder system.
Yeah.
I was because I was out of district. I was closer to Lake Zurich.
Right.
So yeah, like
Lake
a lot of
Zurich's
kids.
nice.
Yeah, Lake Zurich is really
Great
nice.
area.
Yeah. Just far enough away from the city. I mean, like
Yeah.
living in a city now is definitely like I'm like I kind of want to touch some grass. That's not full of
Especially,
dog
I
urine.
just moved from River North. I was living in
I
Quincy
wasn't sure.
Park.
Are you still
I'm
down?
in the suburbs.
Oh, that's what I figured
Yeah.
when you said traffic was bad. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were coming from the
But now they
suburbs or
just
not.
shut down Chicago Avenue Bridge. All
Uh-huh.
these fucking
I saw they're gonna shut down Lake now too.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, well they got Halstead shut down. I mean, it's
Right.
like I don't even like to leave. I'm like I'm
I
trapped.
don't.
I'm
I know
trapped.
you are.
I'm
It's.
trapped.
I
I
agree.
can't go north.
I mean,
I
Halstead
take the
from
train if I
yeah,
gotta go out.
right.
I mean,
Smart.
yeah.
I hate driving around the city right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go like 2 miles. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like I feel
Seriously,
like I'm
man.
just in this like video game where like I
Yeah.
have like a zone around
Totally.
me. Like
Yeah.
you can't exit here. It's like you're
No.
running into the wall of
It
traffic.
sucks. It sucks.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna end.
I don't know.
I think we probably have the worst traffic in the country at
I
this
do
point in
too.
time. I mean, you can go south, but I don't have anything to
Right.
go south for.
Right. Although someone got shot on the Dan Ryan today, so you can't go.
Today? Oh, just today. I mean, every other day. My goodness. I've
Yeah.
seen some crazy stuff for
Who's telling
sure.
me that the mob runs that highway? Who the fuck was telling me this yesterday? I was like laughing. I'm going, really?
You know,
The gangs and the
that's
now you got the
ridiculous.
National Guard here. It's so fucked up.
They so actually when they were doing this, what do they call it? The Jane Burton intersection right behind here.
Oh yeah.
So they thought
So
this building, no, it's just a
oh
that's just telling me there's an ATR. We have quite the divergence here. This is actually interesting. We have quite the divergence between the NASDAQ and the ES because the NASDAQ's pushing up towards its high of the day and the ES is pushing down towards its low of the day. And remember when I told you that I thought the ES was a little more technical? I'm going to go in here and look for the extensions that we were trading coming out of Friday on the regular trading hours. That next traditional's quite a bit of ways below us. So I'm gonna go to like a 1 minute time frame and just observe what the extension sequence was coming out of this low. It's not an easy thing to find. This 1215 high, it looks like it traded here to target, here again to target. Okay, that's up at its negative 100. I'm gonna draw that same anchor new high just to give me a different variation of a potential support level if we're not gonna get all the way down. But like I mean, Nasdaq's now popping through. I think we just took out the overnight high. Let me double check that. So we do, yep, just took out the overnight high in the Nasdaq. This divergence is interesting to me because we're holding the 38 of Friday's high too high in the Nasdaq, and in the ES we are not holding that extension. So there's two different sequences right now that are happening. But if this ES, if we are going to drift higher, actually this ES traded at 61 and it is going to be 945 here. This ES might want to get long it. We had this situation yesterday or last week where the Nasdaq was heading to new lows, and if you guys remember, the ES was still up at highs, and then we finally rolled over. I said that that's not going to happen. So I'm actually going to get long ES here, and then we're just going to be able to. I'm going to drag it into the market. I'm going to use ATRs as a stop. We're right at that 50 of the extension, but because we held it in the Nasdaq and the ES was the more technical market on Friday, and so the ES has come to its 61. The Nasdaq has come ATR reversal. We have a trend buy higher. We have a new high. If the Nasdaq continues, the ES will follow, and we're right around that more aggressive support. It is 945. I'm gonna watch the targets I would have here. 67.39s would be it, or on the downside, there's a six. The ATRs are about 7 points, so I'm gonna use no more than a 7 point stop on the downside. My entry right now is 67.21s, so I can go 67 like 14s, 67. I can go right below that low. And I'm gonna set a timer for 25 minutes. So Todd, one of the things I do when I get into trade, I like to pay attention to like we realistically like shouldn't be moving like fairly quickly. So I'll just set it. I just have these kitchen timers. Um, I'll set it and I'll let the market. We'll see where we are. If we're doing nothing in 25 minutes, kind of still sitting around my entry, or maybe we'll be higher. I don't know where we're going to be in 25 minutes, but then I'll either decide should I be moving my stop up and managing my position on that way, or am I looking to take some kind of profits? Because that first 25 minutes is like the most crucial time for me in a trade. And the faster it moves, like if we move immediately away in like 10 minutes, like that's what you want to see, right?
Right.
Like especially like there's no news right now that's gonna
Yeah.
just like wipe me out.
Right.
Like if we were going, if we had 10 o'clock news right now, it'd be a little sketchy because like maybe you have like University of Michigan consumer sentiment or
Right.
something. You'd have to be aware of that. But right now we don't have any.
News coming up.
Yeah, no news events. And the headline, we're not really in a headline risk market right now. There hasn't been much of that. But what we're gonna want to see, guys, is so just like the resistance level, that 78% retracement. Remember Perry talked about that call wall in the NASDAQ. I'll have to check and actually load what he had sent out here. His ES profile and his 8 grid overnight value areas positioning grid. Okay, I'm gonna load up Perry's positioning grid and then okay, this is Perry's positioning grid. See if we can get above those large gamma levels. So this is that large gamma level in the QQQs that we do want to watch where the large gamma level it's going to be in the SPY that's just above that overnight high. So we'll see. If we can push through this large gamma level on the Nasdaq, it's going to bring that S&P up probably to that level, and that's where I'd be looking for a target. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to drop it out of this screen for this time being, but and Nasdaq straight up to that negative 61. So that extension, this is going to be where you're going to want to see that Nasdaq get through. That's a profit target. We're also up at that large gamma level. So if we can push through here, that's going to be great. If we do get rejected from this level in the Nasdaq and fall, if we start falling back through, realistically the lows of 940, that would be a potential sign of a reversal. So what I'm going to want to see is that we're just at least moving higher here or hanging out up here. And if we're hanging out up here long enough and we continue to just hold, I do believe we'll push through those highs then in the S&P 500 and get up towards my 67.39s targets right now. And there's not a whole lot for me to do, but wait and see what happens at this point. I got my stop in. I got my target appropriated and got my timer set. Let me know if you have any questions. I gotta ask the question. What I think it meant, why do I think? You said what do I think, but why do I think they're diverging? I don't know. I don't know why they are diverging. It doesn't really matter. They just are diverging. I could come up with a million theories. At the end of the day, the NASDAQ is stronger than the S&P, but I mean, if I'm not I'm sure Perry's watching. He could probably tell you what the what indexes are dragging the NASDAQ higher. I don't know if Nvidia is like super strong today, or obviously, like the Nasdaq has some really large components that can really move the market. I'm not currently watching those independent components, so I can't tell you why they are diverging. I just simply know that they are diverging, and there's some things that are relevant to your decision making, and there's a lot of things that are not relevant to your decision making, and you want to kind of try to eliminate the things that are not relevant to your decision making because it's just noise. The one thing I'm watching here, the VIX is, I don't really want to see the VIX continue to, we're right on the overnight highs on the VIX, so I do not want to see that continue.
Right.
Um, it's not like huge difference right now, but if we start popping through that, we shall. Yeah, we'll eventually see some rolling over. Money.
No.
They're not
So
interested in that.
no, they're really not. So I
The asset gathering, it's a different game.
yeah. So I still have a little thing in Thinkorswim,
Nice.
but
Just came back for
tasty
another
trade.
test of that 50 there, guys. No, you're good. You can continue to talk.
Oh,
Um, so you had money in Tasty Trade, and then
yeah.
just
I
doing.
keep
You said you're just doing spreads and stuff mostly.
yeah, taking a couple shots.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're paying attention, like I know, like I have some friends that like they're not really financially educated in a sense of like they're not like, but they pay attention to just like market trends on like Reddit or whatever, and they pick really good
I know.
stocks. They're
It's
like,
amazing.
because a lot of that stuff is just if you're into the flow and your eyes are open, and I mean you got enough risk mitigation experience,
Right.
like being on the floor for
Right.
as long as you were. Um, I mean, I don't think it's hard. Somebody asked me later, I was like, how can a trader outperform a hedge fund? I'm like, well, when you got, $3 billion, you can't really get in and out of the market.
No.
So,
No, and you why listen, social media has helped a lot.
yeah.
It really has because Reddit's great. You got Rocket.
Rocket, one of my best buys has been ASTS.
Oh yeah.
I've been in that for a while, but
Yeah.
like some of this, this my like fib work or whatever,
Uh-huh.
called, like you see it, these markets, like they all these hot stocks, they like, are you trading Rocket right now? I haven't looked at it in a
I
while.
haven't traded in a while.
Okay, let's take
I
a
was
look at
long
it.
it for a while and did pretty well.
But yeah, I mean, like ASTS, just like perfect halfway backs. I mean, if you're
Hmm.
patient enough for them, like, see here, let's go this weekly
Some of these
chart.
AI stocks have been great.
Like,
Big move. Okla,
yeah,
IONQ.
like big, huge move up. Like there's this 50% or
Yeah.
like big, huge move up, halfway back, right up to targets. Next measured
And
move. Like,
yeah, and
I mean, it's one trade a year,
right,
but like,
right.
like,
But a
just
lot of these guys that are trading these are on Robinhood.
yeah,
And they'll get, there'd be 50, there'd be 50,000 people doing the same thing because they're following something that someone said on Reddit, and they're making these
it's where
stocks
it's where the hype is,
It is.
And I mean, when there is that like retail cash flow, like of those people, like they're getting they're getting stopped out
Right.
here. They're not aware of some of these nuances on the higher time frames
Totally.
and stuff. But yeah, let's see. I haven't ARC. What is it? RKLB.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I've been obviously
Yeah.
hearing about it. I don't do too many individual equities, but
Look at
wow.
that chart.
Yeah. So I mean, look. I mean, you're halfway back.
Right.
Standard ripper.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see this. This is where I get. This is where I go like this and just
Mhm.
create an alert. See you next year. I'll get the text. I'll
Exactly.
get the
Right.
text to my phone next
Yeah.
fall.
Right. Drop
Oh,
55.
35. Time to buy.
I
You
know.
know.
Well, interest rates have gone down, so
Yeah. I think I think they're out
people
of
are
California.
refinancing.
Yeah. Okay. Is this
That's Rocket Mortgage, right?
okay? Is that a Chicago company? Or
The
no, no,
Rocket
no.
Lab, that's different.
This is the Rocket Company. This is like they launched
Oh
satellites.
yes, yeah.
Which one were you talking about?
That
Rocket
Rocket
Mortgage?
Mortgage.
What's their
I
ticker?
don't even arcade.
Let's see if I can type it in. I mean, I can Google it. Rocket.
There it is.
Let's see. Rocket Lab, Rocket Internet, Rocket Mortgage.
There
It's got to
it
be
is.
RXM.
Oh, it's
No,
not.
this is Managing Corporation.
No, that's not it. I can't remember. I was thinking of Hood, Robin Hood.
Yeah, oh, Robin Hood.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
meant.
yeah, yeah.
That stock,
Gotcha.
I
Oh my
sold some
God.
puts in that.
Oh, nice,
It went
nice.
down to 100.
Oh wow,
And I was
this is
freaking out because I
wonderful.
was short these puts.
Oh,
Yeah.
how long were you dating?
But
I mean, look
I
at
ended up
that.
making money. But
Yeah, I
look
was
at it
gonna
now.
say
Now
whatever.
it's
You
127.
get put to stock. Who cares?
Yeah.
This is such a clean trend.
I know.
This is such a clean
I
trend. I
know.
mean, this is like
This is unbelievable. But look, you could look at any of
we-
these
yeah,
AI stocks, and that's what they've been doing.
yeah, so it's like
Look at
QVT.
Nvidia. I have
Yeah.
a friend that's he's got
Yeah,
50,000.
I was gonna say, remember that I met that guy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Is he
yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah,
nuts?
yeah. I
He's
was like, I heard the average Nvidia employee's
Yeah.
got 21 million in stock.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't have that much.
Yeah. He's such a joke, man. That guy. He's like on the spectrum. He's
How long has he been working there?
well, he was working for an Israeli company that was bought out by Nvidia.
Oh,
so like he's been
gotcha.
with Nvidia like 8 years.
Wow. I mean, those Israeli tech companies really have like some serious software.
Yeah.
Good for
So
them.
Nvidia bought him out, that company out.
What year was that? 10 years, you said?
Yeah, I think like 8
Good for
years.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically where the stock's performed in the last 10
Oh my
years
God.
anyway.
It's
So,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Shit, you could have bought Nvidia.
Dropped down. I know.
AMD, another one. That was
I
like
know.
$2 forever.
Oh my gosh. I was
Now-
actually thinking about buying Cisco just because
Yeah,
I saw not this earnings report, but the last one. I remember they had a pretty
I
big beat
know I had
too.
Cisco for a long time, but it doesn't fucking go up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dead stock for years. I mean, the
Look
fact
at
that
AMD. AMD was like $3. Intel was the number one chip. Like, what do you have in your computer? Oh, you have Intel. What's
yeah,
that?
yeah, Intel.
Intel. But you know what?
Yeah.
That stock's doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's 35 fucking dollars. It just
Yeah.
rallied.
These
$10.
chips, I don't know how much these chips cost. I mean, Nvidias are like at the 100 grand. These things.
Well,
are probably like
Nvidia though
$200.
was not a big chip make. I mean,
Yeah.
they were like the shittier.
Yeah,
Like any computer you ever bought was Intel chips.
totally.
Now it's Nvidia and AMD.
No.
AMD took off and
Yeah.
well, they got into AI
Yep.
and Intel never did. Intel's like the IBM of the what is yeah, I put on a 25-35 call spread in
Wow.
here.
Wow. Long.
Down here, yeah, long.
Wow. Wow. 25, 35. What
Yeah.
was it? What was a debit
like
on that?
$2.
$2. Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
It's trading.
I mean, it's gonna close out
right.
even. You're
Yeah.
gonna. Are you? What's the expiration on it?
It's January of like 27.
Oh wow.
So I got a long
I
time.
mean,
but
yeah. That's a
I
nice
should have
little.
done it earlier.
Yeah.
An earlier one,
I
but
mean,
was-
whatever. You wanted the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge move.
But it's a huge move. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I may buy the 35s in
Yeah.
and then just ride
Okay.
the 25s.
Yeah. That's actually not a
You know,
bad
because
idea.
it's a breakout. The
Oh,
stock looks
for
good.
sure, this is a breakout.
Yeah.
So like for fibs, like.
See,
So you have like this. This is just standard fib pattern.
Right.
Halfway back, literally just
so you
tag.
use the Fibonacci chart, right?
Yeah, I use the
Like-
Fibonacci tool within a certain rule set. Like, so when you get your standard fibs on, any platform, what there's like default levels.
Okay.
I don't use, there's like 6 different lines on your
Right.
screen. I basically use 3, like a little, maybe some a little more, but like in this case, we have that 50% or just, and there's clearly, I mean, I'm not the only one looking at it,
Right.
right? Like, so we tag off that and then we go through this, we go through those targets that I talked about. That's when I'll do that aggressive, this sequence, this high to
Yeah.
high, and you see how we just come, because like otherwise if we didn't go that high,
Mhm.
I would draw this, but that's so much of a deeper pullback.
Right.
If I were to set my limit there that's 2760s roughly. so what actually ends up happening is
So
like
what's 2760? That's your
2760 would have been the next halfway back here.
Okay, I got
It
you.
would have been the halfway back from the 21st of August to, to that high at that point in time.
Okay.
But because this was so quickly going to targets, we went, just straight up huge volume, big range on the day. What happens is that the programs or traders will buy, they'll use a different, I call it my anchor point, which is where I'm beginning my measurement from.
Okay.
They're going to use that more aggressive anchor. And you can see this one goes, basically straight up to, once again, it's negative 61. We just went straight up there. So then what I would do for my next entry, if I was going under my rule set, I'm just going to take this high and then to the next high, and then there would be two points. The first one would be 32.57, and that would be the 38% retracement of this.
Okay.
And then the next one, this would be the deeper pullback, 31.42s. It just kind of depends on how much. If the super aggressive bid stays in it and volume stays in it, it's going to hold the more aggressive. That's more of a rare occasion. I prefer it come to the 50, which it will over time, unless there's some significant change of whatever. I know what we had the government involved, and NVIDIA took a stake, I think was.
Yes, or Trump pushed this. He said the government was investing $500 million,
something like that. Yeah, but didn't NVIDIA take a stake? Or I think that was. I don't remember what the news was.
They did it in something else.
Oh, okay.
I forgot which one that one was. But yeah, I mean, my problem is I never charted. I mean, I'd look at them, but I didn't understand them that well. And and you have to live and die by charts.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
That's the difference between when you were in the pit.
Yeah, you didn't really have.
Chart,
but you didn't really the software, that's why Tom kind of created this. I mean, I don't remember what year he started this, but they were really software focused. And I mean, charts have even they've evolved some of the stuff out there. Like one of the newest ones called Trade. You ever heard of Trading View? Trading Views, it's web based, so it's a little easier because I know Macs sometimes are sensitive to a lot of the programs that I use, at least. You have to run Windows on your Mac, which is super taxing to get some of the trading programs to work. Mac's not a great, but Trading View, because it's web based, you can just log on the internet from any computer and populate. This is a native software program, but let's say I threw my computer out of the window on a bad trade and needed another one, So but I don't do that. So I've never thrown a computer, but or smash a keyboard. You smash a keyboard?
No, I just smashed screens before.
Oh, that's on the pit?
In the pit.
Oh,
big time.
Oh, man, only if there was videos back then.
Oh, yeah.
Security footage. I mean, that's what I know that Borsellino always just get thrown out for fighting.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nut job.
Yeah, she was a nut job.
Well, I mean, you got to be the loudest guy in the pit.
Yeah, and people steal your trades. The Merc was pretty scummy.
Oh,
that was the worst place I've ever traded.
Really?
Oh my gosh, they were fucking horrible. A lot of scumbags.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what was some of the. I know the FBI got in there. I heard trying to sting some people on taxes or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they were insider. They were talking outside the pits about what the opening trades were going to be.
Oh.
So when they go in, they knew what the trades were going to be, and they fucking fade them, and then they break or they'd run up the markets. If they knew you were short, and you were a big trader,
they knew
they'd run it up.
Yeah, because they probably knew where your stop was, right? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, a lot of those guys back in the day. Did they have did they have a mental stop, or did they actually have something out on the order book?
Well, sometimes the broker would say where his stops were,
okay,
which was illegal, obviously. So some of the insider guys, I never was one of the insider guys. Just fair trade.
So
talent, and you had to fucking.
Hey, be careful what you say. You're on mic. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
I left my mic on just because I'm sure people probably find this entertaining, but I don't think we got any feds watching us though.
No, but I was a
fair trader. You didn't say anything. You didn't say anything.
I did on the mic.
Shit, it's funny. Yeah, we are. Let's see here. I got about 5 minutes left on my timer. We've kind of gone nowhere. We've run up to what would have been the targets in the Nasdaq here, and we're just dilly dallying around in the S&P. If we were to shift lower, the next support level, where is that? Let me get rid of the extended session here again. Yeah, if we were just to drop not too much. I would look at 67.11 half, but hopefully we're still holding this. We just kind of have gone nowhere. It's been quite the range here in the S&P. We have not even a 10-point range in the first half an hour for the S&P. Let's see what the NASDAQ is. But 10 o'clock is officially over about 100 points in the NASDAQ so far. So we'll see if we can. I want to see us shoot and hold through. There's an overnight fair value gap, so I'll show you what a fair value gap is. Or it's like a single print, but some of these like most of these codes I've like written myself, but basically it's just a one. So there's no volume previously or no price action previously here,
Mm-hmm.
and so this box, this um, red box is just marking up a section where there was no previous bar and no bar after, if you see what I mean. So there's just price action on this one, and often that'll act as just a resistance point because that's kind of where like the liquidation began in the overnight session.
Right.
And you can see as we've retested back up so far, that price has been rejected. What I want to see as me being long here is within my like time frame roughly like that we're kind of I want to see us push back up through this zone here.
Okay.
And if we can push back up through this zone, then I'm going to feel more comfortable. But at the end of my timer here, I'm going to have to make the decision to either just take the trade off or at least move my stop up under this low, which would be like, I don't know, like a 2-point stop, which is, about as tight as worth getting. If you're not going to have anything smaller than that, just take the trade off because, your probability of getting stopped out is so high that you might as well just get
Take it
out.
off
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
because when you're right now our ATRs are 8.5 on the regular trade or with the extended session turned on, which is funny because our range is barely that. But let's see if we can get that push through this old kitchen timer. Good old yeah, we're counting. We got 2 minutes left, guys. We got 2 minutes left on the kitchen timer. If we can punch through this high of the day, there we go, punching through the regular trading hour session high. Like it's little tricks like this that keep me from overthinking. Like at some point you're just like, well, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. I don't,
gotta die by the kitchen timer.
Yeah, gotta be comfortable with the risk you're taking, and just there's nothing you can do once you've made your trading decision. I mean, that's one thing I've really like learned is like, like the famous adage that people always say, like, take what the market's going to give you. But what does that really mean? Like, unless you have some way to calculate like what the market's giving you, which is like, price over volume times time or some formulation, like if I have like one rule, if I like am in a trade in like within 10 minutes, like here, like this is just an average reaction.
Right.
I mean, it's good, but like within 10 minutes, if we're just like, whoop, I'll set a timer and see how far we go in the first 25 minutes. And then that'll be one leg, but like the second leg, sometimes it's just like, that could be the low of the day.
Yeah.
In certain circumstances, typically I also like to have like, if this level reacts accordingly, like it's not going to come from some random zone in the middle of the day. It should be a level that you're premeditating that there's a big move off of. Like if we were to come into later in the day, the 50% retracements of the 50% retracement of yesterday's or Friday's low to high, I'd be like, okay, well, this is a potential level that can give me like a 30-point move in. And I would wait for that,
Right.
or be aware that like if we get a really strong reaction, great. All right, perfect. We got about a minute left on the timer. We just popped through that fair value gap. We're coming up to some the overnight highs. That's really going to be that next level. And then if we sweep those overnight highs, we're going to run right up into where I currently have my target. I'm going to pull back in Perry's positioning. Pull back in. So we have not really gone. We've held this 1770 in the VIX here is kind of where we looks like we really just got broken down. We're running it. We should not pop above that level at this point in time in the VIX here today. And in fact, I'd love to see us get back to the open. But we're through that large gamma level in the NQ. It seems that we have gotten above, kind of held it and pushed back. So we're going to want to definitely see the NASDAQ stay above there. And then if the ES, I'm gonna set an alert at that 666 level at or above in the SPY. There we go. So now that's 25 minutes. I'm just gonna move my stop up here to this low. Just, we shouldn't really come back down there. Um, and I'll set another timer for 25 minutes, and then because this has been like I said, this reaction's been like, it's been all right. It's not like, we're still in, we're not through overnight highs. Like we are through the high of the day. This last bar is an ATR expansion. See how they're just printed yellow?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good sign. But then if we come back down through it, that's a bad sign, right? Like, so we've expanded the range to the upside. But if we immediately just fail to stay above, then that's just a liquidity wipe. But I really wouldn't want to see us like get back below 21s. Then I would just say this setup here
Right.
is just it's not gonna do anything. Um, yeah, gold's just on the highs. Oil's just grinding lower. Nothing there. But yeah, sometimes like some of these trades, like I will trade. Like sometimes that, like, I mean, I was busy last night at the Sunday Open, but I mean, had I been at my desk, like that gold trade, like just, there's different timings. Like you got the Asian Open at night, and
Right.
sometimes it's just that time of the day that we're at those levels. You're not always going to be at where you want with a great setup at 9:30 this morning, but
Mm-hmm.
like, if there's always going to be some form of a setup, but it just may not be the best time of day for us to, just because we're positioned. So there'll be, later in the day, like let's say after lunch, come in or back around and check at like 2 o'clock
Yeah.
Eastern time, and we can very well be at that lower level. So this is now the 50% retracement for the day in the ES. This is where the longs definitely want to see us continue above here. Let's see. And now that we got too many lines on my screen at this point, I do want to get rid of a couple of these for now. You push through that overnight high. But yeah, of course, like a lot of like anything else, like once you learn some of the analysis methods, they can really be applied to anything, whether it be stocks or especially like the fibs and stuff. Once you understand those sequences,
Mm-hmm.
because they're traded on every time frame, every asset class, especially the ones with a lot of volume. If something's got no volume, there's not going to be as many programs trading it. There's definitely some criterias. But yeah, just to explain like a couple of these indicators I have on here. I mean, like anything, it's just something you'll like, this purple dot here. That's
Uh-huh.
called a swing mark. I call it a swing mark. It's just basically a 5-bar swing low. So the previous 5 bars are higher, and the following 5 bars are also higher.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, it'll just plot, a swing low. And then
Okay.
inverted of that is the orange one. Same thing, but it's a
To the
swing
upside.
high.
Yeah.
So it's like, just your standard break resistance becomes support, and it's just like, it's not like a trigger for me. It's not like I'm fine if we trade that, but it's just
Right.
something
You want to watch.
yeah, I want to watch. And like, so if we have like, all right, this is the overnight high. You
Mhm.
also have here this blue line of fair value gap. And then if we were to take today's low to like the current high, so you have the overnight high, the halfway back for the day, a
Mhm.
fair value gap here. That's a combination of three different things, all within, a couple. You're not going to always line up perfectly, but within one average range, I would say, oh, that's going to be maybe a higher probability setup, that because there's other traders, like, you got to think about how are other traders positioning themselves, and you know do I want to be where they are, or like those are going to be our fresh limit orders,
Uh-huh.
like people just sitting there with like, you know, limit. I don't watch like the book. I mean, some people do. Like I don't, because there's so many icebergs and
Oh yeah,
and
for
like
sure.
hidden orders that I don't really find it valuable, and
Well,
I'm not a scalper.
right.
So like, I mean, if you're scalping, maybe it's a little more valuable, but I don't really find it too useful for me.
Yeah. Well, and then there's those auto trading systems where they'll pop up and you know they'll be in and out of the market all day long,
Yeah,
where they'll pop up an offer or pop up a bid and then it's
it's
gone.
gone all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you can't really go by
just
what's in the book.
totally just spoofing and whatever. I
Right.
mean, it's there's just so much volume. It's I don't
Right.
know. If you're trading microseconds, maybe, but yeah, that's pretty. You ever heard of Getco? The
Yeah.
old, yeah, yeah. I knew a guy that was like one of their first like 10 or 11 guys. And he would tell me like what they used to be able to get away with back in the day. He's retired now, but
Hmm.
like he was spoofing and
Oh, it's
whatever.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's like for like the regulatory bodies were
Right.
aware of that, and like they were kind of inventing that stuff at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. They put in an order and then like 10,000 miles would pop up and then be gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then,
Well, that's why they blamed the flash crash on.
right.
I mean, I don't know
I
what
remember
happened,
that.
but
That was,
yeah, that was crazy. I
yeah.
remember that too. Uh, I was like, I don't know, I was like early 20s at the time. I
Yeah. It
remember
was
looking at the
nuts.
market, just going, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Oh, my dad's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "The market is like crashing, like
Yeah.
it's crashing."
Yeah.
I
That
couldn't.
was,
You were in
we
the
were
pit.
sitting in the
I
pit.
was gonna say you were in the pit when
Yeah.
that
We
happened.
were
It
watching it. It was after hours, I think. It
was
was
going right.
after
It was been
the,
after probably your
the, the, the grain
yeah,
market
the grain
closing. Yeah.
market.
But we were sitting there and the spoons were just dropping like 10 handles. It was crazy.
Yeah, so like this is in the room right now, just like so far no not too much bullshit going around, as like we
Right.
keep, try to keep it related to the
Right.
market,
Of course.
and the thing is, most people in here are aware of like my style of trading, so we're all looking at the same. The thing is about like a futures room versus like a stock room, we're all looking at the same market,
Right.
versus like you're in a stock room, you got 60 different opinions on
Yeah.
50 different stocks,
Right.
and it's just like but yeah,
So
so
which chat room is this?
this is just yeah, it's just
Okay.
called the Discord. The
Okay.
software is called Discord,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like it's basically it's the startup trading chat room, and
Right.
all of these people here inside, and they understand, we're all kind of trading the same thing. We're all trading the
Right.
same markets, so similar I mean, the same
Yeah.
strategies. Of course, everyone's got their own deviation and
Hmm.
things they like to add to it. All right, guys, I'm 25 minutes into this trade, and I'm only up a point, so I'm just gonna take it off, dragging my order into the market, scratching this. I just don't like the lack of reaction at this point in time. We've gone nowhere. We're in overlapping price action. I'll wait. If we do drop below the next level, I'd be willing to limit. I would just like to take this next setup immediately below us if it ends up trading, and that would be either one of two things. Let me go back to the Well, Ali says you seem like a guy he wants to party with. He used to run Chicago. Ali, if you come to town.
I'm fun to party with.
Absolutely. Oh man. I heard you used to have a yacht.
Yeah, I did.
How big was it?
45 feet.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. It was fun.
Yeah,
Fun
having
at
a, having
parties.
a, having a boat in Chicago is the way to go,
Yeah, it
man.
is. I'm still looking.
Are you?
Still got it in my system.
Oh
Because
yeah,
the season's so short.
it is. It is.
That's the problem. I think I'd rather have something down in Florida or
No,
something.
I feel you on that. My dad does like the Freedom boat
Oh, does he?
rental.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was funny? I mean, we got the same name because they got one in here in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So I'm always like, I want to use his like.
So where does he do
So
it?
he has a place in Florida.
Oh, he
So
does.
he goes he just because it's like
Right.
obviously a whole lot less expensive than owning a boat, and he doesn't live on the
Totally.
intercoastal
I
or
know it is
anything.
smart.
So
That's probably what I'll end up doing.
yeah. All right.
Where in Florida is it?
Naples. They're
Oh
in
yeah.
Like East Naples.
Yeah.
It's called Treviso Bay.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, just
It
he
is
used to
nice.
work out of Miami, and then my mom, he'd want my mom coming down, and my mom's like, I don't really belong in Miami. She's like, I'm a little old lady from the suburbs of
Right.
Chicago. She's like,
Yeah. Lot more Midwesterners are in the Naples side.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Miami culture is just like it's a young, fast
Yeah.
culture. My mom's
It
like,
is.
so they got. My mom's like, if you get a place here, I'll come.
Yeah.
My dad's done. He retired, but back at the bottom of the range, still gone nowhere here in the ES. So I mean, don't want to be in a position that's just not moving so far. But if we trade lower, I think we might just need a liquidity sweep of this morning's move. Probably it might not come till like 11:30. Um, you know, East Coast time. So when it does, I'd like that. The most aggressive thing. I mean, I got like a level at here at 67.08. It's just gonna really depend on how we trade lower at this point in time. But 25 minutes into a trade and not going anywhere, I'm just gonna scratch it for now. Do 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 do. They used to
They
always
just
talk about those
like the 1 week out. It's either
too much risk.
well, yeah, you're gonna be either long or short to stock.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Yep. Yeah, unless like I mean maybe like on this if we get the 55s you sell like that's a once every quarter trade like
right,
one level if you are doing a little
right.
bit of chart work but
Yeah.
just to randomly sell it,
Yes.
not a
I
good
mean, I always
idea.
tell people, like someone will say, "Oh, I only made $5," but you know what? You never go broke taking profits.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Profit's a profit, no matter what it is.
Yep.
The losses you want to minimize.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, that's I kind of like my favorite part about futures trading is the bracket orders. I got my stop in
Right, you
immediately.
have to.
Like I mean, yeah, Josh,
Right.
trade without a stop. I mean,
When I first started trading futures, I didn't put stops in because I was
yeah.
so used to trading options.
Uh-huh.
People are like, you got to put in stops. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
As,
Yeah, that's a tough lesson to
as I
learn.
get
That's
caught long and we're down limit,
uh,
oh shit.
yeah,
I
that's
guess
definitely.
that stop would have worked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, like even when I first started trading, they didn't have it's called server side OCOs. You had the
Right.
whole they have to be native to your computer. So like I'd like whatever, my computer would like restart in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, my order's not what I'm like, I'm like, yeah.
Right.
So I had to seek out a broker that had. Now they almost always did, but I think back then it was either like a technological thing or they didn't want to host the risk of
Right.
them hosting your stops.
Right.
So they made you host them because if it
Yeah.
doesn't work, it's on you.
Yeah,
If it doesn't work, they don't
You
want it
can't
on
go.
them,
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah, we used to have to break trades for people that messed up on the system supposedly.
yeah,
And I'm like, wait, no one's breaking my trades. Why do I have to break his?
yeah. That's it. So on the floor you would, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
How? So they would just like
they'd
require.
go, the
How would they?
customer messed up and he wants you guys to break the trade. And you're like, what do you
So
mean?
you got to eat that loss.
Yeah.
Oh wow, how big of a customer?
Yeah, I don't. It
It must be
wasn't my
good.
customer.
I was gonna say, better be good customer.
But
Like,
it
how
wasn't
much?
even, it
How
wasn't
much?
even my customer.
How
'Cause I
much?
didn't-
How much business are you
Yeah.
giving me? I don't
Right.
really.
Yeah.
$50,000 loss. That's
Well,
his problem.
like that one guy that supposedly pressed the wrong button on the sell side and took the market down. Like,
I remember that.
do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, it was either Goldman, someone big. The guy was a hedge fund, and he pressed the wrong button and took the market down like 2,000 points. And they're saying, well, we got to break those trades. And we're like, well, but what about the ones that I supposedly thought I bought, and then I sold it only up two handles. Now no one's gonna bust those trades.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I've never
We
been in
used
a
to get,
position. I'm not even trying. How do they calculate that? There's like,
well,
you're.
it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. You had to suck it up.
Yeah.
But today it's impossible. You can't. Not with everything on computerized. Just
Yeah. I mean, I hope people have enough software limits in there.
right.
You would think like a hedge fund, like, hey, you place an order for our entire book size. We should not let that go through. Maybe
Right.
like
There's got
just
to be some
internal
kind of,
risk controls of
yeah.
some kind. Like,
Yeah. But when you have some of these smaller brokerage firms, anything can happen.
yep.
And like on Robinhood had an issue, I remember a long time ago.
Yeah. Well,
Remember
when
was
those,
that GameStop?
yep.
Those GameStops?
Yeah, I actually was getting long some of those, and they were not accepting my limit orders to
Right.
sell. I
Right.
was trying to get out.
Because yes,
Yeah.
you know why? Because
They,
someone was short.
well,
and
yeah, and they didn't want, but the thing is, they wouldn't even let me sell. I feel like they just suspended all the trading because
Yeah,
they
they did.
wanted the big boys to be able to get out. I'm like, I felt so scammed because
Yeah.
I was long AMD, I was long AMD, I wasn't long GameStop, but like,
Yeah.
it was just like one of those moves where it's just like as a trader, I'm like, this is just free cash. Like I just jumped in.
They almost went bust.
Yeah.
They were the
Well,
ones.
they were the counterparty. Who was I forgot the name of the company that picked up. It was initial Citadel came in, bought them out because they were short. I forgot the hedge fund, and then they took all the risk on.
Right.
But yeah, Ken Griffin, all he does is to make a few calls.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
Him and Don Wilson from DRW.
Yeah. Is he still in Chicago, Don Wilson?
I think so. I don't think they moved their company.
Shame we lost Ken.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to fill
He's
that tax hole.
He's very charitable. He just donated a ton of money to Miami.
Yeah.
To Florida.
I think he was one of the big guys that did the Riverwalk, right? The Riverwalk.
He did the walkway where they separate the bike lanes from the walking trail.
Oh wow.
The jogging trail.
Wow. That's what he did.
He donated $10 million to the city for that, to separate them.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the most expensive house in
Miami,
Florida in general.
Yeah.
New York.
Right.
London.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, you gotta love a billionaire that just blows cash. Stop hoarding it. He loves spending it.
But he was smart. He was the brightest guy I've ever. I mean, think about it. He developed a system that was faster than everyone else's.
Hmm.
And just
Risk free.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. The name of the game for him, risk free. I
yeah,
used to.
he is.
You ever heard of Magnetar Capital or
No.
Alec Lithowitz? So Alec, they run like 18 billion out of where's Northwest Evanston.
Oh,
So
really?
they're out of Evanston, but Alec was like one of Ken's early partners,
Oh, okay.
and I knew Alec because my ex-girlfriend's dad ran his family office as their the guy who ran it for the accounting side of things.
Hmm.
So and he started it, but so I met Alec a couple times, but he told me he's like when he was training for Citadel back in the early days, he said like his team was responsible for like 30-40% of the revenue and he wanted equity in Citadel, and Ken's like, go fuck yourself, he didn't care. So he split off and started Magnetar. And
Wow.
I mean, they're kind of like, it's one of those things like I wouldn't know who he is unless because I know somebody that,
Hmm.
ran his office, but like he's a Chicago,
Is it a hedge
billionaire.
fund?
Yeah, it's called Magnetar
Okay.
Capital. Yeah, I think he sold off half of it to
Wow.
Blackstone
Yeah.
at this point, but he's chilling. He's doing okay. But same thing, he's
Right.
just savage. Like they do these private equity deals that I
Right.
wouldn't even begin to
No.
understand.
No.
No conversions, and
Right.
on top of that, just of course those guys are originally great traders, but at some point the financing becomes a little more sophisticated than
Yeah.
just buying and selling, right?
Right. Well, that was like peak six. It was
Yep.
also those guys were all ex O'Connor traders, really smart. Husband and wife team that started that.
What was the second one you said?
Peak six, it was called.
Okay, I know Peak Six.
They took over the floor, the old bond or the old board of trade floor upstairs,
Oh
and
wow.
they had a bunch of traders up there, but really bright group.
Yeah, Peak Six is they're definitely one of the best. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy how many great trading
I
firms we
know.
have here.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the hedge funds are more in New York, but like the free, the in-house, because none of those guys even take money
No.
because they make so much
Right.
money.
Right.
They're
Well,
making
they had small investment. Though
Yeah,
Citadel has
initially. Yeah,
yeah.
Citadel
He's
has some
got a
public funds,
yeah.
but you know, I mean, some of the best ones you can't get in.
No.
They're
No.
distributing
They're closed.
capital.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I do like the Tasty Trade like the mobile app is pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, this program doesn't. They bought out a company called what are they called? Tradeovate. Tradeovate has a great mobile app. Ninja does not have a great mobile
Really? Oh,
app.
this is Ninja?
Yeah, this is Ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a publicly traded company though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
are they? I'm not sure. I
I
mean, they
thought they
might
were.
be. They very well might be. I haven't. But yeah,
Used
they've been kind of consolidating in a lot of the futures space. They've made some pretty good acquisitions.
yeah.
Let's see here.
So it's quite a date with his
Yeah,
O'Connor.
not much
No,
going
it's
on.
okay. No,
I mean,
it happens.
yeah.
Well, because we opened where we were from overnight. That's
Yeah, we
that
opened
was a big part
th-
of the.
a a lot of Mondays, like especially big gap Mondays.
Mhm.
Sometimes, like I just, I know Perry. If you weren't here, I probably would just have done what Perry did, which is just like just go do something else for
Yeah,
2 hours, just because I mean,
totally. I
big
get it.
gaps on Mondays, just like everybody's waiting to see what's going on.
Right.
Nobody's taking off risk and no one's
Yeah.
taking risk. We're right where we are.
Right.
We've been,
And there's
there,
just nothing to do.
yeah, there's just nothing to
I
do.
know. That's why when before they traded, had night trading, it was the best because anytime there was a gap opening on the opening, you'd sell it and you'd make money.
Yeah.
It was like it would
Yep. Gap fill.
gap,
Yeah.
yeah,
Automatic. Yep.
automatic.
I used to pay a lot of attention to that, and then that, literally 10 years ago when I first started
Right.
trading, really, really looking for that gap fill, but it's kind of deviated from like just like immediately doing that. I don't know, like there's some people that run the numbers on like I think it's like 67% of the time we fill the gap or
Hmm.
something like that,
Right. It's crazy. It really
and we still very well. I mean, I think we'll probably fill that gap here today, but the question
it
is
could.
like when are we going to fill it?
Right.
Like
Right.
you gotta
The
sit
new
short for
is
two
it the new
hours and then
balloon or the
yeah,
yeah, I know.
new balloon, yeah.
I mean, there's so many different
Yeah, I
thought
mean, we're only an
process.
hour into the day, which
Right.
I mean, I've had basically had like one trade. My thing was we are up. It's just a little tough to, I mean, exactly what I thought this morning. Like, I think longs are the trade. I don't think
Right.
shorts are the trade, but this is
Yeah.
also a tough spot to get long
Yeah.
because
So right.
we're already up here. We're already up
Exactly.
here.
It's very hard. I
Yeah.
agree. I,
But
I look at stuff and all the time and I'm like, I can't get long up there.
yeah, but if we can get like, if I can just get like just a swing through the low of the day for like
Hmm.
5 minutes,
Right.
that's like right now how I'm reading the market. That's kind of perfect because you're gonna get that typical that you need a liquidation break to the upside or the downside
Right.
here to get people off sides.
Yeah.
Because right now, like anybody who's still in a position right now is just waiting to kind of like they're feeling how I was feeling, which is
Yeah.
just like just take it off.
Right.
If you've been in a trade for a really long time and it's not
Right.
going anywhere, if you get that final pop, which is exactly what happened, we got that pop
Yeah.
and we just faded right back into the
Right.
low of the range, and we haven't taken out the high of the range since, and
Yeah.
it's just not worth being in.
No.
But that's trading,
Right.
being aware
It
of that
is.
stuff and
And not forcing it. It's
yeah, not forcing it and just knowing. See, I mean that would have been my second timer after
right.
25 minutes, and I mean we're
And
3-4 points from where I got out, but
right.
the thing is, if your bias is right, even if your positioning isn't the best, you have a better chance of at least pulling a break even.
Hmm.
Like had I had a short bias here today, it'd be very hard or difficult to get out of a short position for a
Yeah.
W at this point in
Right.
time, as opposed, whatever. I scalped a point, like
Right.
it's nothing.
Right.
Basically no trade. All right, guys, this extension in the NQ that traded off its 38, we do want to draw that same NQ new high. The 50% retracement is going to be the 24,862. If you guys remember, that actually lines up with that level I gave this morning that I said I wanted us to see us crack below or stay below if we were going to go short. So that's going to continue to be an interesting level here at 24,862 if we get down to that. And then as far as the ES goes, let's see here. I mean, I have the halfway back long from the low of the day to high in the NQ, but I'm not interested in that being a new trade at this point in time. Let's see, I'm going to draw this up to, if we can, we're just that 78% I had in the ES, the 6, 7, 28. We haven't been able to get above that yet. The most aggressive extension would be from the 135 high to high, and 67.13 is that 50. Let's see if we traded that would be maybe the potential liquidation here. Liquidation lower. I heard, yeah, no, Perry, I did see that he had stepped away from Tasty Trade. I was just talking about that with Todd. I was talking to one of my friends who's a little more involved in that industry, and yeah, he told me he was pushed out. Him and the other guy who was let go. But yeah, I guess they pushed him out, which I can imagine happened. He's definitely a control guy, and if he doesn't own the equity anymore, I'm sure whoever does, I forgot who bought it, but well, I know Tony's running it now, but I wonder who owns it. Yeah, Tony with his son.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, right. That guy's gonna start another company. Their headquarters is down the street from my house, actually.
Here it is. One day ago.
Yep.
He's bold, he's brilliant, and he's
That Vanessa?
Yeah, that. Oh.
get ready to laugh as we dive into the funniest, weirdest, unfiltered.
Yeah, he's got more money than he knows what to do with. So
Yeah.
I'm he best thing that could have happened to him for him to get pushed out. Some guys just never stop working, I guess.
I cannot believe that Tony Batista is around here
How long have you known Tony?
forever.
So Todd used to trade with both Tony and
Tom.
Tom back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Tony didn't know how to trade stock. We had to teach him.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he work under you at all at one
No,
point? No,
no,
just
but he
he's just a new guy on the floor.
yeah, he had a pretty face. That was all.
That's funny.
Tony never made money. Tony was not a.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Never came across as the
Came off
brightest
as
brightest star in the
the
sky
like
to
an
me.
Italian kid in the. He had a hot wife.
I know. I think he's got a. I know his stepdaughter's pretty cute. I know
Is
that.
she?
Yeah, yeah.
His wife was smoking hot.
I believe it. I think I forgot her name.
He's gonna get. I'm surprised if he'll make it there by himself.
Do you get a question here? Do you mind talking about your trades you took back in the pit? How did you strategize your trades? I don't know. Feel free to kind of explain
Um,
on that.
Sure. Uh, how did well you would have literally you'd have trading sheets in your hand that were written. You'd run computer sheets every half a point up in a stock, and that's how you'd have theoretical values. We didn't have computers back then, and you would just try to trade volatility spreads where you'd sell higher volatility and buy lower volatility. That was a big way, and it's still being done today. Only we use computers now to do it. So you look for volatility differences and trade. You buy low, sell high in volatility, and hope that they come in because eventually the stock, the options go to expiry during expiration. They either in the money or out of the money. So you would
Would you be carrying risk most of the time, or would you try to like risk
always
always? Yeah.
always had positions on. So you'd either be long volatility, short volatility, or long premium or short premium. Um, the hardest was hard to borrow stocks, which today they're becoming more and more prevalent because of all these new companies that they come out with that don't have much liquidity, and you have to figure out if you were short the stock, how much it would cost you to borrow it. A lot of times now you have to pay money to borrow stocks when they're hard to borrow. So you got to go out there and find someone that's long it. So that was always a risk. And then obviously if you had to take
So if you were long, when would you get short a stock? What position would you have on your book?
you'd always look at the volatility was a huge
So the
indicator.
implied volatility.
Implied
Okay.
volatility, which is
Yeah,
basically
the volatility.
the
Yeah.
volatility of the option. During earnings cycles, you'd always see a a pop in volatility. And then there was always the skew that you had to take into consideration with trading options because people were always worried about going broke to the downside back then. Now it would invert. It would sometimes it would be downside risk, and then sometimes it would be if you were trading a stock that was a takeover stock, you'd have to worry about it being taken over, and if it was going to be for cash or if it was going to be for cash and stock, you always had to take that into consideration. There was a lot of equations that went into trading options, where futures are obviously more cut and dry. You could have your stop orders, and you couldn't do it in options. There was no stop orders in options. So, I mean, there was a year that I'll never forget when Amazon first came out. Goldman Sachs would come in every day, and they'd ask you for a market on some calls in Amazon, and you'd be like, okay, we're four bid, which means $4, and we'll sell them at six. We'd have like a really wide market because that was during the internet boom. That was like in 2000 when Amazon came out, and you'd sell them 500 at six, and then they go, okay, what's your market now? We'd be like, oh, well, now they're 6.8. They'll go, okay, well, we'll buy another 500 at 8.
Wow.
And then the next thing you know, you're short a couple of hundred calls in Amazon. The stock would be up $80 the next day.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I think I lost $1 million that year trading Amazon. In one
Damn.
day.
Oh, in one day.
I mean, in one year, but I made it
Oh.
back because I was trading a MCI WorldCom at the same time and made it back trading those stocks. But I mean, you had to, when you were standing in the pit, they make you take the positions.
Yeah.
So it was
So how did they enforce that? Was it just like take it or you're losing your seat? Or
well, no,
like...
they'd just be like, you can't stand here if you're not going to make markets.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So you'd have to make markets.
So it's a CBOE enforcing
That was
that?
the CBOE. Yeah.
Okay.
But you always had a book of. I always carried a book of positions always, and I was one of the guys that would go from pit to pit when something would get busy. It's a lot easier now on the screen, but you'd have to break into the pit, so you'd have to be willing to take the shit because it was like you were walking into a fraternity house or you were walking into you opened up a new store on the block and everybody had sold the same product. So you had to somehow figure out a way that you were going to be seen in the pit. And me being only 5'4" was pretty hard.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of big
A
guys in
lot
there.
of big guys in there, and I had to have a loud voice, and you could tell from my voice how hoarse I am from yelling and screaming all the time.
They got voice lessons in the
I
pit.
took voice lessons.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to take voice lessons.
Wow.
I used to get I was so hoarse. By the time Friday would come, I could barely talk, and then the weekend you'd regain your voice back, and then you'd lose it again by Monday morning.
I was gonna say you can't go out. Can't
No,
go out.
no, you couldn't.
Hard to talk in loud
Yeah,
bars.
yeah, you couldn't. So, but anyway, getting back to the trading part, you would just you kind of feel the pit out and see where positions were, and try to read other people's brains and figure out what kind of position they had on. And you'd obviously look for the smartest guy in the pit, say, oh, he's buying a lot of shit. I'm gonna do the same. Or you do your own homework. But I was one to go home and just do a lot of homework. And you try to research the company, but there was only so much you could research.
Jeez, I mean, I couldn't imagine what the markets looked like during that tech bubble.
That was crazy. The tech bubble was nuts.
Selling calls in the tech bubble. Oof.
Yeah, it was bad.
So would you try to get long the stock if you were short the calls? But there's only so much
But
capital.
the problem is when you're long the stock and you're short the call, you're synthetically short the put.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the stock could go to zero. The option can only go down as much as the value that you sold it at.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be stuck. If you were writing calls against stock positions, you'd get called away on the upside, and on the downside, your risk was unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
So it was literally like a ski slope on the downside, and it was not pretty when the tech bubble. Well, on the upside, it was easier, depending on the stock though. A lot of stocks like the Diamond Index was the makeup of 250, I think, stocks combined into one, and there was always calls on the upside. It seemed like to buy. Certain stocks, if the volatility was low, you could always get out. And but on the downside, puts were always bid higher.
It's vol skew.
So it was vol skewed on the downside. But that especially during the tech bubble, puts were always way higher volatility than the calls because everybody was long.
It's still
the
pretty much
future
the
of the
case,
stock.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's still kind of the case.
I mean, those big institutions are
We
trying to
didn't, and we
protect
didn't
their-
have the
They're already
VIX.
long.
The VIX is a nice little hedge for people that are trading options in ETFs because they can always hedge it with the VIX. But that's also an indicator of the stock market. I mean,
Yeah.
when we see a 500-point down move in the stock market, you're going to get the VIX calls are going to be bid up. Or VIX obviously inverts to the stock market.
Yep.
So
The Volmageddon.
yeah,
I forgot what year that was.
I don't remember. That came out around 2006, 7.
Okay, is that when the VIX
maybe?
came out?
Somewhere around there. I can't remember, but
Right before the '08 crash.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was that time where they had all of those ETFs tied to the VIX.
Right.
That blew up. What was it? SVXY. They always call it sexy.
Yeah.
I used to trade that.
Yeah.
And then I mean, the whole ETF went kabust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a couple of traders were aware that was an eventual that was a thing that was eventually going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was just like one of those black swans that was always going to be on the table. I had a buddy of mine who traded vol, and he always knew that under the right conditions,
Right.
that thing was done.
Yeah.
And so he, saw that move coming.
Yeah.
And he got long the VIX futures contracts and just
Yeah.
I forgot where as high as we went. It might have been, I think it was above 60. It might have been as high as 80.
The VIX?
The VIX.
Yes, that was crazy.
Yeah. Let's see if we can go back on this.
That's a big move right there.
Yeah, that was the
okay.
tariff. So here it is, 80. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was 20.
What
I
year
don't
was
even
that?
know. That's 2020. I don't know. I forgot. Maybe the Volmageddon was. Well, this is just a VIX futures contract. So, oops. These are a bunch of old levels. Let's see. I can go back further. Yeah, that must have been the Volmageddon. Yeah, or maybe this 2018. That's a really violent move right
Yeah.
there. Even though it's not that high, it's. I mean. It's
Wow.
80. I remember that.
Oh yeah. So what year was that? That
was 2020. That was a COVID. That was
Yeah, right.
COVID.
When everything shut down.
Yeah. That was wild.
I was told that guys made. I wasn't trading during COVID. My girlfriend was sick with breast cancer, and I was just completely out of it.
Yeah.
But guys made so much money during that era that the markets were so wide, and people were killing it in options because none of the auto spreaders were working. The exchanges were shut down. Everyone was trading electronically, and then people made so much money. I wish I knew about it.
Yeah. Well, that's always the thing. Some of those, I didn't trade options at that. I mean, I just don't really. It's just hard to watch too much stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't try to spread myself thin. But man, I mean, on both sides, that's when a lot of people started getting into trading too.
Right.
Like, because everybody's at home.
Yeah.
And then,
What are you
get
gonna
their
do?
stimulus checks or whatever,
Right.
and like throwing it in Robinhood and buying calls
Right.
and just seeing the market go straight up because the
Cool.
Fed's pumping, unlimited capital. And I mean, even if the spreads are wide, like,
Yeah, it's crazy. But we may get another opportunity.
yeah, there's always, I was,
Trump says something wrong or something.
yeah, a whole war here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's always like, I got, some of my buddies that they're big traders, and they're like, they'll just sit, like Jesse Livermore kind of, they just sit around for years and just wait for that one time where they just have a super edge, and they know what it looks like. They've been trading off, and they're sharp enough guys, and they got big enough books where they'll just, hey, I'll wait 3 years to make 50% with an 80%, 90% win rate.
Yeah.
Because I'm trading $100 million bucks. So if I can wait 5 years to hit, I'm okay. I got enough. They got enough capital.
Yeah, for sure.
Do whatever.
So where's Eli located?
He used to be out of Chicago. You're in California, right? Ellie? I think it's Ellie. Ellie, you're what or he's from Minnesota. I know he used to live here. And then I think he lives in.
Mine talking about how your trade back.
Oh, interesting. Holby. So he's he's saying that Tom's working on another platform. Of course he is. That's probably why they let him go.
Exactly. I'm gonna TK
Yeah.
grab water.
No, yeah, go ahead. I got cups in the left, right there. No, to the right, left. There you go.
I believe that.
Well, that's what he did with Tate. So as soon as his non-compete ended up, because he's gonna screw. What a savage he is. That's what he did. He got on Thinkorswim,
He'll take Tom with, or he'll take what's his name?
Batista with him.
Yeah,
Either that or they made him sign something
Oh,
over there to
maybe.
keep him at least
Maybe.
temporarily. Like, hey, like here's equity because they know. I mean, if they don't know, because he did that to Thinkorswim, he used their entire platform to gather the audience, and as soon as his non-compete was the next day, that company was launched.
I traded with what's his name? Tom Ricketts was in my
Oh,
pit.
okay, wow,
He
really?
he went bust, believe it or not.
I believe it.
He was not a good trader. But then he went on to grad school and went to University of Chicago, got his master's in business, and he started a bond fund and did really well, convertible bond fund.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he also had some big money behind him.
Yeah,
His dad,
clearly even bigger.
he told me the story of why he bought the Cubs. He'd go to the games and
I'm gonna get short here. See if we can push through lows. We have a little bit of divergence there where the ES got through this 1045 high. So there's a new high in the ES, and we didn't take out that high. But realistically, like this is what I call a trend bar,
mm-hmm.
which is I've looked at a couple different indicators. But you see how that's like highlighted red,
right.
And we have that fair value gap. So the thing is, if I'm short here, I can put my stop just really tight below that high, and then we'll see how far we can go. But also because we've been going sideways for so darn long, like we should finally get that break lower.
Yeah,
we'll see if we can get that. So I'm gonna set a timer that if that'll come down to that low, we're gonna get those stops hit. Looks like the NASDAQ will probably get them hit first. It's just, is there a continuation? Because right now we're failing from these highs. So we shall see. I think as low as we could get, 6701, 6702 is ideal. And then 6714s would be like, oh, cool. Okay, I wasn't sure if you're back in Minneapolis. So, where were you? Naperville, Ellie? When did you meet Nick? It was one of my buddies, and Phil knows him too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I just went negative on my piano today.
Yeah, well, we're not doing anything, so.
No, we're getting hit. You can tell.
Yeah,
All my stocks.
All the stocks are.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, these are all NASDAQ stocks. These are like my AI portfolio.
Is that negative from the open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was gonna say because we're still up from Friday's close.
Yeah, no.
Starting to get close to the open.
Yeah.
Wish I could speed up the market here.
I know, right? I know I just lose patience. I mean, I'll be sitting in front of my computer. I'm like, oh, I gotta go do the showing.
Yeah.
And I gotta get up and leave, and it's hard to have stuff on when you're.
For sure. Yeah, no, I don't like to have stuff on when I'm leaving the
Yeah.
desk. That's why, like, typically, like, you just, like, I mean, hopefully the mornings, I mean, if there's enough activity in the morning,
Right.
I kind of just like to be done with
Right.
it. But, or I'll come back at, like, the times that we're moving,
Yeah.
the 2 o'clocks, the 6 o'clock open, but, yeah, and I mean, this is the tightest S&P opening balance range we've had
Right.
in, this opening balance. Oh, that's the wrong candle here, but we've had a low of 67.15 and I mean a 15-point high to low
Yeah.
here in the first hour. I mean,
It's not a lot.
yeah, I mean Friday was 30,
Yeah.
and then yeah, 30 on Friday, 30 on Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah, 22, 30, 33. Yeah, we've been about high 20s, low 30s for the last week, but probably gonna do nothing and then just get a dump that lasts a very short time.
Hour.
Yeah, yeah, and then just and that dump might be now. I'd love to see that 6702. Like if I had something to do today and I was
Yeah.
just gonna place like a limit, I would just go 6702,
And
set
put
an
your
alert.
stops,
Yeah,
yeah.
just whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my level. And ideally, like that's how you want to be trading. Is just like one or two levels in trades during the day that you're
Mhm.
just like super confident in, because the rest of it, there's just not that much
Right.
movement here today. I mean,
So what's the longest you'll keep a position on for?
I mean,
Just
I mean, it really of course, like it depends, right? Like I don't have like, if there's very rare circumstances where you have like a true trend day where the markets move in one direction the whole
Right.
day, right? Like that's like less than probably 20 or 15% of the day
Yeah.
types. So like one, you have to have that type of day type, and let's say like that type of day type. I mean, let's say half the time you're even aware that it's that type of day type until the
Right.
day is over.
Right.
Like those, I would say of a position that I'm holding over 4 hours is probably less than 20% of my positions.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't have like just a specific. I mean, I'm typically flat by close, so
Yeah.
that also is going to be cutting into the time I'm holding position. The only time I'm like holding positions for the long term is if it's like, let's say if it's like Bitcoin or a position I'm not or a market I'm not day trading,
Yeah.
but I'm still interested in a longer term trend. Um, but then I'm planning that typically as a swing trade.
Right.
But if I'm not planning it as a swing trade, I'm not, turning it into one. Um, so yeah, my average, but that's the thing that's nice, because if you got something to do, like you're not sitting there like, I mean, maybe you put a stop and a target in that's like relative, but like you can't be, if you're moving away from your desk, you can't be too greedy. I would take like the next, like if I was leaving my desk right now, I would take the first, and I'm sure I would take the first support level below that I think we're going to break into. I'm not going to go down to the lower one.
Right.
If I'm at my desk, I could go down to the lower one and kind of wait to see if it'll
Yeah.
trade. But if you're not, you can't manage the position, so you
Right.
want to just take that higher probability
Yeah.
market or level,
Yeah.
the one that's immediately above or below.
So how's this working out?
I am down 3 points at this point in time. Yeah, I have my stop just above there. I have my stop at about 6 points. The average shoe range is like 7 here. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm just gonna keep my stop above basically this high, and then give it,
Right.
once again, give it,
The other
25
thing
minutes.
is, I mean, if you did options, because these are liquid, these
Yeah,
are very
yeah,
liquid.
yeah.
You could always do like for example, like I'd have something going against me. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy this call that's higher up.
Mm-hmm.
Like with a higher strike price. So now I have on a bear spread
Hmm.
because I thought that the stock was going to go down,
Hmm.
and then I can always trade out of it or
Yeah.
get out of it. But then you end up with positions,
Yeah, a
which,
lot of
you know
different
what I mean?
positions.
Then
Yeah.
it gets crazy. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously trading the futures is the cleanest,
Yeah.
but your risk reward, to
Well, you
me,
just have to be better. You have to be better with like the timing and stuff.
and the charting and everything. Yes,
Yeah, versus like, because you can hold a spread and,
because like
anticipate it coming back in. You can
right
still use like these charting techniques, of
for
course.
option
Yeah,
trading
it's just like
for
you're just
sure.
expressing the risk in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. And you say, oh, and then now I have a position on it. I say, well, fuck, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and see what
Yeah.
happens, or I give it a couple days to see if it corrects itself. If it doesn't, then I'm out by Friday.
Yeah, like
You know,
I know I have a couple traders in this room. They'll come in, they'll see the levels I'm
right?
plotting and Perry's plotting,
Yeah,
and they'll trade options
right,
off that.
right.
Um,
Like, see, that's what maybe I would consider because I'm the type that'll be like, fuck, it's going against me. I'm just gonna wait a day.
yeah,
Which you
yeah.
can't do in
No,
futures.
no, you can't
You
do that.
cannot do it.
No, that's you can't
It's a
do
no,
that.
no. It's the
It's
first. It's the first sign that you do not want it. You just
Yeah.
don't do it.
Well, that in my in my program, like I basically I teach like the stop instructions
Right.
through all like it's like kind of like a step by step like, hey,
Yeah.
you don't just sell
And wait.
and wait, it's definitely more of a management
Squeeze your
style. Like, before I was long, we didn't move anywhere. I got out for a point. Now I'm
right.
short. Once again, I'll give it. I mean, we'll see. We're at in 25
Right.
minutes. This trade's still working.
Right.
We just haven't got that flush yet.
Yeah.
Which, we're in a low volatility environment. I didn't
Exactly.
expect it on the next candle.
No.
Um, but
It's a low volume day, and it probably.
yeah. It's the weather in Chicago is so nice this weekend. All the traders are hungover.
Yeah. Going back out today.
Yeah, no, I was with a couple. I was with the head of the engineering team at Optiver. He's got
Those
80.
guys are killing it.
Dude, yeah, he said they are up 5 billion this year. I'm like, and I asked him, I was like, you ever get headhunted? He's like, oh yeah, all the time. I was like, would you ever work anywhere else? He's like, no, I just retire. I'm like, yeah, he's probably making 5 to 10 million a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, he runs
does he
their
do?
global engineering team at Optiver for their options derivative market
Yeah.
making team. He said stocks said they do 15 million shares a day. So that's a lot of trading.
I remember when they
It's a lot of clicking.
I remember when they came to Chicago because I think they're a Amsterdam.
Netherlands, yeah.
Yeah. I totally remember.
You're one of the
those guys.
oldest firms, I
Yeah.
believe, in existence, like
Yeah.
market making,
Yeah.
which like I didn't really realize that.
And
like,
they had like box monkeys. These guys that would come down to the floor because they were all running it from upstairs. It was all like the engineers that were doing everything, and they would just tell them what to do on their computer. It would say do this, do that. Same with Trade Station was I think was Timber Hill.
Oh, okay.
Was another firm. It was I think it's Trade Station is the name of the company now.
Yep.
But the guy that started it was from I don't know. He's European too. Brilliant guy.
Okay. Wait, are you thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Interactive Brokers.
That's exactly
Yes. That guy. Yeah.
Interactive Brokers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy was brilliant. He would dispersion trade. He'd take like Ford and traded Ford against Chrysler or GM.
Okay. Wow.
It was called dispersion trading. So he'd say, okay, well, if Ford's doing this, then GM should do this. Or they would do the indexes against the individual stocks. They would trade the baskets. So they would put on an S&P position. They'd like buy volatility in the S&P, and then they'd sell it in the individual stocks if the stocks were higher vol. And they'd hedge it that way.
Okay.
And I would lean on them all the time because I'd be just trading that one stock. So I could make a half a cent on a couple hundred contracts with them. They'd give up the edge because they were getting it somewhere else. And that guy was
he's a super genius. He owns 70% of that firm. I think he's worth like something like I forgot how much. He's low. He's one of those.
Older now.
Yeah, he's like 70 something.
Yeah.
They just did an article with him, I think, in
brilliant.
Forbes. Yep. There's an ATR reversal out of a new high in gold. That could be interesting. So you get a new high today and immediately get that reversal. But I mean, once again, gold's in an uptrend, so that's kind of hard to want to short into.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that's a pretty good sign of a potential reversal, just immediately
Right.
getting that liquidation. But I kind of want to see what happens. And now we're starting to move in these indexes, so we'll see if we can get down to. Let me
Well,
make
you know,
sure.
the index is always were inverted to gold.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's gold would go higher, indexes would go lower, and I don't think it's that way anymore, is it?
no, no.
It's really
Gold's just its
its
own
own animal.
beast. Yeah, yeah. A lot of these, the old, I guess, correlations.
Yeah, they're out the window.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first got on Tasty Trade with Tom, they wanted to trade like, they would trade like a NASDAQ Russell
Hmm.
spread. Well, that doesn't even
No,
correlate. I
no,
mean, maybe there's some net correlation between the NASDAQ and the S&P because
right.
there's a lot of the similar basket makeups, but they would just look at the notional value. They'd say, two contracts in the Russell equals one in the NASDAQ, but there is no mean
Yeah,
reversion in the Russell and the
right.
NASDAQ. You want to stay short the NASDAQ and long the Russell, you are
Hmm.
going to be eating
Right.
bad,
Yeah,
day after day you're
yeah.
taking losses.
Now, when you get into the ag markets, those have correlation,
Yeah.
like 2.5 contracts to one bean. Corn is like 2.5 to one bean,
Okay.
and it changes, but
Yeah.
there's actually a spread that they quote beans
Yeah,
versus
I was to say bean oil too,
yeah
probably.
bean
Bean
oil
oil and
and
beans,
the
I
bean
imagine.
meal.
Yeah.
That's the crush.
Okay, is that
That's
what that
another
is?
that's another correlation. When you take a soybean and you crush it, it becomes a certain amount is
Uh,
oil and a certain amount is
yeah, because I've
meal.
always heard the crush spread, but I
Yeah,
mean, I've never traded the crush
yeah,
spread, but I guess that's.
yeah. I
Did you ever
can't.
trade the crush
I
spread?
did, but I can't remember the ratio anymore. It was a while since I've done it.
Yeah, the
But
crush spread. I
it's
mean,
just you take a soybean and when you crush it, you get a certain amount of meal and you get a certain amount of oil.
mhm.
And then guys would trade the oil meal against the
I was
actual
gonna say
soybean.
the crush or the meal is what, like feed.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then the oil is
the
what they feed
soybean
the
oil.
human. If
Yeah,
they feed the humans,
exactly.
what they put in our
Yeah,
drinks,
yeah,
the sugar.
yeah.
So there's another, what I call to be a trend bar,
Uh-huh.
and this will print a red line.
Yeah.
That's a really good sign because we've had one here. This is the second one. We didn't make a new high, so
Are you
failure to
talking about
break.
in gold or in
No, I'm talking. I'm
and
down here. I
oh
got my
down here. I'm
cursor.
sorry.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm just kind of waiting for us to crack through. Like, we got this gap fill below us, which lines up with my next support. So ideally, that's where I want to see. Like, I have my higher support levels, and if
Uh-huh.
we can really crack that, like now I'm
Right.
up 5 points on this trade.
Wow, that's great.
So yeah, hopefully we can get down to 6702s
Mm-hmm.
is my ideal. But once again, I got my timer going here, so
Yeah.
now you're getting the push through the low of the day, increase in
So the timer is
range.
strictly for
It's
your
it's just for me to, like, I have to put some type of time frame where
totally.
I'm just, I can be
Otherwise,
thoughtless for 25 minutes, or you
well,
can stare at every tick,
right.
you'll drive yourself nuts like that. So once I take a position, I basically just I'm giving the market
Well, and
breathing
it's
room.
your discipline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's your
And also with like stops, like just like, like I mean, one of the worst things, I mean, revenge trading or trying to get back in something like, if I take two losses in a market, I'll stop trading that market.
right.
If I'm taking one trade, especially if I'm taking a loss and I'm immediately getting in that next support,
Right.
I'm angry,
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
reflective,
And don't trade mad.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
You're gonna really be mad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when the computer screens go out the window.
Yeah, for sure. That's when the keyboard stops
Yeah.
working for different reasons. Not a technical malfunction, but a physical
Yeah.
malfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like something I just kind of thought of. And also I've noticed like a lot of times moves just last for, like, I call it like a one time cycle. It's almost 30 minutes, of course, but like you won't really see moves last. Like this up move here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green bars. That's it. Like that's the one up move today. And
Right.
then since then we haven't had any, I call it a leg.
Mm-hmm.
A leg is when we can continuously move for like I call it a time cycle, or 25 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It's just something I've noticed that's repeatable. I mean,
Right.
maybe it won't be repeatable in the future. I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, right now it seems to be repeatable. So the most immediate support level here that I have in the S&P is going to be the 6714s.
Uh-huh.
And like if I mean, two things are really going to happen here. We're either going to stick to 67.14 and this winner is going to turn into another scratch because I want more out of this trade. I could cover it at that 67.14.
Right.
Or like, I could cover half of my position if I really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can crack that, so this is where it becomes like if
we're
we
going to
can crack that,
67.02.
yeah, then we're going to 67.02. So I'm going to be put in a position where I can realistically either scratch the trade, like, for a point or just get an actual, a trade long enough to make it worth being in,
Exactly.
I mean, I'd be up, let's see, I'm short from 22. So 67.14, that's an 8-point trade, but
Yeah. 400.
it's a low volatility day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that now if we did this again and I scratched 2 trades, the next trade I would get in, I wouldn't look
No.
for anything much. I'd look for like 1 ATR, then you got to start adjusting your expectations of okay, like this is all the markets until
it's
we
gonna
break
give
these
you.
levels. This is all we're getting.
Yeah.
This is all we're getting. And that's just, being aware of everything. But yeah, we're also at a corresponding support level here, but we're in the middle of a gap in the S&P. We're still, I got another 5 minutes that I've been in this trade, but so far, at least it's moving my way. We've failed to take out highs, but if this NASDAQ can specifically get back through that open, we're gonna start pushing down. But I like to see these bars are getting bigger.
Right, they are.
They're getting bigger, which is a good thing.
That's a good sign. That means more people are jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah. They're a little
getting short.
They're getting short. Yeah, you like to see them get bigger when
Yeah.
you're in. If they're getting bigger in the other way, it's
That's
not fun.
good.
Yeah, no.
No. That's when you start squeezing your cheeks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
going,
Yeah, that's what the stops are for. That's what the stops
Exactly.
are. You're not good at making decisions
No.
in the face of
You let the computer do it for you.
yeah, the Mike Tyson says everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the face. So it's kind of like I kind of think the same way about trading. It's like
it is.
you got a plan until you get hit in the face, and you're like,
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
It's so true.
Yep. What do you think about the regular trade doing halfway back long? Well, sorry, I just saw that. Yeah, we spent too much time above that RTH long for it to work. We front ran it twice, and on the third test, we were coming out of high failure. So, I mean, easy for me to answer that question now. Sorry, I just saw it, but yeah. And here we are at that 67.14. Definitely want to see us crack below that. We got also 15 minutes till the European session closed at 11:30. I haven't even looked at crypto today. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Oh, wow. Oh, man. 5% move. You're right.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a big move. We've been quite the consolidation here in crypto. I mean, I'm a long-term crypto bull. I'm not a. Some of my buddies are maximalists. They think like the U.S. Federal Reserve is going to blow up, which it might, but like, I think it's such a large asset class now that it's a tradable product. It's a different, like I'm explaining to my friends, I'm like, Bitcoin going from a market capitalization of 100 billion to a trillion is one thing. Going from a trillion to 10 trillion, that's a big multiple. That's
Right.
It's
People
easy
think it's going to a million.
yeah. Like, I mean, it's the law of marginal utility, which is like the bigger something gets, the harder it is to become more useful for everybody else. Like, and at the end of the day, it's not a cash producing asset. But it's a tradable product. It's absolutely. Also just had the futures roll, which a lot of the these futures roll a lot faster than the indexes. I don't know the exact schedule. Like, this is actually a longer dated. I don't know what the exact futures roll schedule is, but each one of these is a different roll here. Now we just had an ATR down, so that's like even better. Like, like
I
even,
saw that.
like that's turning yellow.
Yeah.
Now everybody's getting scared. Like, and then I'm like, okay, like, I mean, we're still within my time zone of entering this trade, so.
Yeah.
Ideally, it's we just need this one NASDAQ level. This is if we can clear this, we should get my O2s.
Yeah.
We should get my O2s. And then also, guys, just the NASDAQ, this next support, we talked about it this morning. This is the higher support level. This is the extension in the NQ. This is an ATR. We just stuck a 61. But yeah, if we can get down to that lower level in the NQ, back at that, it's anything below 24,000. 750, great area, but we'll see. We're ATR down. We got 10 minutes to 11:30, and we've come off pretty good here, off this high at least in the ES. And we could definitely get a little bit of a pullback here. I'm going to draw these little tight traditionals. I don't really want to see too much price action above this 27.19. I could at least at this point in time I can secure my profits. So I'm going to move my stop below my entry, and I'm going to move my stop to 1975. So just locking in. I obviously want it to continue lower, but we have run into the more aggressive support here. This 50%, same anchor new high in the NQ, and also we've stuck a 61. But the momentum's still clearly down here, and I'm not eager to go long. I do know that I was anticipating there to be buyers here, but let's see if they're strong enough to actually reverse us back to highs. I hope not, because I'm staying short right now. But yeah, party in crypto.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's just, halfway back on, closed on a halfway back on Friday.
Mhm.
We go through that and then into that extension, that high to high.
Yeah.
And then we got right to, this is a negative 100, which is a really strong move to that target.
Yeah.
And then, so this would be that next setup here. I'm gonna set an alert there. So like, if like this would be something I would swing, like maybe have a longer hold time,
Mhm.
because I don't day trade Bitcoin,
Yeah.
but like I could, Bitcoin definitely has hard trends, and it's technical. You can get in it. So your standard fib, if you were to like just use your stop at the 61 and your target at the negative 23 and your entry at the 50, like that's standard just fib rules.
Mhm.
That is a risk one to make 6. So it's a 600% return on your risk if you had your stop and target there, assuming you get your target completion. But especially in like, these markets, like I really like to prefer like swings just long, just because of the drift.
Right.
Like just, it's like the indexes, like, or the indexes, like it's not a great idea to stay short for a long period of time.
Right.
You can get in and you can bang it out, but like I'm not trying to swing shorts.
Yeah.
Unless you're hedging a portfolio for something very rarely, but even then,
Yeah.
it's the drift is higher.
Right.
Like, just keep it simple. So it's 25 minutes. So if you've been in a trade, this is where you determine either taking it off or definitely moving your stop down in your favor here. But we are at the 61 we stuck to 61 of this long. We stuck to 50 of this long. We can pop right back up to just these next resistance levels. And then let's see, I'm up about 6 points. And then those need to sell. Otherwise, we're just going into consolidation and kind of more of the same. More of the same. But yeah, right to that 67.14.
14.
And that's just, it is what it is,
Right.
like I'm aware of those levels. I don't know what the market's going to do
Yeah.
when we get there. I expect to bounce. I hope we go lower, but
Right.
there's only so much you can control.
No.
But that's once you really
It's
understand,
amazing.
once you really understand, like I've been looking at the market and understand their structure enough, I kind of know what we should do
Right.
when we get there, which really helps just manage the positions mentally,
Yeah.
and just, and then just let the market do what the market's gonna do.
Well, and as soon as you buy it back, it's gonna tank.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I made a joke like that the other week. I was like, I'm gonna get out, and
You guys
then we're
get
gonna
in.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm gonna get out, and you guys get in.
We used to have that joke in the pit all the time. Yeah,
Uh,
just wait. As soon as I buy it, my shorts it, then you guys get short.
Yeah.
It's going straight down.
For sure. No, I
Where
mean,
is it?
there's that functionality to that market,
Oh yeah.
where traders are getting out, and that's how you kind of got to be aware of where people are positioned. But
Right.
it is right now we are bouncing off these levels. So if we do whatever, just
Yeah.
another micro little,
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah, you're right there. It's unbelievable.
yeah,
It's like they see your stops.
yeah.
I swear. Unbelievable.
Yep. It can't go broke taking profits.
No, you're right. Look at it, got down to 67.10.
Yeah, 67.10 just back up, but like like I said, right when that timer went, it's like,
So
am I
what?
taking it
So
off?
where is the? So the 67.10 it went down to. Now where did it close on that during
So, okay.
67.14 right
Yeah,
there?
so the open would have been
So
here.
what
So
how many minute chart is this?
that's a 5 minute chart.
Okay,
The close is at the bottom of this
that's what I
candle.
thought.
So that's how like these candles work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the OHLC, which is open, high, low, close.
Okay.
And
I don't know.
yeah,
That's what I need to learn.
yeah. So like that stuff, like
But that's what I thought. So the open was the top of the candle.
yep,
This is the bottom, or that's the close, and then that was the low.
yep. So
I got
that's called you have the body and then you have the wick.
right.
So I mean, that candle
Makes
just
sense.
closed even,
Right.
and that's why it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one, you can see the body. So the beginning of the body is the open, the
Right.
end of the body is the close, and the wick is everything that happened in between.
Gotcha.
No bodies and wicks on the floor, huh?
No,
No, I
no,
know.
a lot of guys did use them. I was a big, it was called reversal conversions as well, which you would buy the put, sell the call,
Wow, I didn't
buy,
even.
buy the future.
Yeah.
It's called, that's a conversion.
Okay.
The reversal is the exact opposite. Sell the call, or sell the put, sell the future, buy the call.
Okay.
And I would just do that. And it's a guaranteed lock in.
Nice.
So when stuff would get out of line, now it does, obviously, the computer doesn't allow it to get out of line.
Do you know what Ripple is? You ever heard of Ripple? It's like
Yeah.
yeah. I guess someone just told me I didn't know there's futures for Ripple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
I'm gonna
wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That probably
That is
makes sense why it's been moving. I mean,
Right.
I thought there was some for Ether. I've never traded them.
Yeah, Ethereum.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean crazy.
Some, Palumbo. Did you know?
Yeah. Did he just die? Wait,
No,
I'm talking about the construction Palumbo.
yeah, but the trader Palumbo
Okay.
was Mike Palumbo. It was Third Millennium, big company.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Trading,
Third Millennium.
he was always selling premium, but he's been long Ethereum.
Does he own Third Millennium?
No,
or
he
just
was
a
just a
trader?
big trader for them.
Okay, yeah, because I know they're good.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys got more money than.
Yeah, yeah, they did really well. I love that mannequin.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
so freaking cool. Your place is amazing. What is this? 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms?
Yeah, just one.
It's awesome. Really cool place.
Yeah, I just got a collection of.
Is this, where'd you get this piece? Is this from Cabo? From where? Yeah. I know, I've seen this artist. That's awesome. In Cabo, probably, right?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've seen a lot of their stuff.
Yeah, it's called Wichita Art, which is like just a native
Right.
over there.
Very, very cool. The key collection?
What's up?
The key collection?
Yeah. So this guy in my building,
That's very cool.
artist. Yeah. He made that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, something like this you'd see at the Old Town Art Fair for sure.
So yeah, exactly. They had I don't know if you saw when you got out of my elevator. I own that statue right there in my building.
Oh,
So yeah, it's called the Gambler.
Yeah.
It's a slot machine.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah,
those tickets. Yeah, I own that one too.
Oh,
But I just leave it in the hallway.
Yeah.
Just where am I gonna put it in here? But yeah, there's
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it took me a long time to design all this.
I mean, was this here, this loft, or did you put this in?
Oh, that was put in before me. Yeah.
was?
Yeah, I mean it's not original. This building was
No,
redone
this
in the
isn't, right?
80s.
What?
Yeah, this building was redone in the 80s. It was built
What?
in 1902. It was redone by that guy that lives on my. Oh, he doesn't even live there. He's got all that art. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire.
Great job.
Yeah, no, that wood is really. I mean, you see some of these beams. These beams they don't even
Yeah.
make trees that big anymore.
No. I've seen beams like these in a lot of the stuff. How they're great.
Yeah, I know. It's
But
pretty
even
cool.
The floors, everything.
Yeah, I think it was a pharmaceutical box manufacturing
Was it?
company, from what I've heard.
You don't hear the people above you?
No, there's nobody above me. That's
Was
a
it- oh, that's
rooftop.
right.
That's a rooftop.
Floor.
Yeah. 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 That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else has these ceilings. These are the biggest,
It's fast.
I'll have to invite you in December. I'll hit you up. There's a tour. Everybody opens up their units, and there's a lot of really cool units in this building. Because everyone's like customized theirs. I mean, and then that guy on my floor that's got $50 million art or whatever, he opens his place, and you see all this. He's at the crane some of these art pieces in there. Like, I mean, they're as big as this wall is right here. They're huge. He's got stuff from all over the world.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. No, it's really hard to find something like this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to, replace this type of decor, because everything now, they all looks the same. It's like gray and white,
Right.
so they don't build stuff like this anymore. I mean, it gets, you got the exposed brick.
The stairway up to the rooftop.
Yep, yeah.
So is it your private staircase?
Private staircase, yeah.
I mean,
So
private rooftop up there.
So anybody on the
Second
fifth floor, yeah. So for a while we weren't allowed to build above because there's like it's some type of fire code. But then one of my neighbors just applied for a permit, and I don't know if they just weren't paying attention to, but they let him build. So this was the first time they've let anybody build up there in like 15 years.
Yeah.
But there is a couple of people that have built up like even enclosed structures.
Yeah.
I think his structure is open. I haven't seen it yet, but you can go up there.
I sold a unit in. Did you get stopped?
No, I didn't get stopped. My stop placement was decent.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got, still looking
I
good.
sold a place in Lincoln Park. It was an old school building, and these guys were able to do something on their rooftop, like build out
cool.
but I think it was grandfathered in.
Yeah, a lot of those, was it like a 3-flat or something, or was it an independent building?
Independent, but
I think it has something to do with the fire escape access on this building. There's technically not an official fire escape.
yeah.
Because there's a ladder to the roof, but it's not like, the type slant or whatever, whatever they would consider to be.
Right. I mean, so where is the escape up on the
It's in the hall. We have like a main, fire escape hallway, and then so it's just over here to the left.
So it does go.
Yeah, it goes up, but
I think
it's
this
like
building had two
maybe
escapes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there is two escapes. So
two.
there's a fire escape right here, and then there's one on the other side of the building over there.
So very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, these buildings are, the columns in the basement, if you go down to the parking, it's so cool. They got the old, like, there's still a lot of, I've been in some of my neighbors' places where they have the arches, the stone arches of where there used to be, because it was manufacturing, window, or a pass through to the next before I don't know exactly how the structure was rebuilt when they actually turned this into condos, or when it looked like whatever, but,
Cool.
yeah, that's, it's one of those things. You don't see buildings like this in a lot of cities, like, Phoenix, forget about it. LA, no. Like they just don't have them.
New York.
Chicago, New York, that's it. Maybe St. Louis, but they haven't done anything with them.
No,
they're all in the ghetto, right?
St. Louis is bad.
Yeah, they got really nice suburbs over there.
Yes,
and
they do.
But the city, not so much.
This one building I sold in, they had these beams going through, like you had to walk across the beam to get to the other room.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Yeah,
better have some
crazy.
balance.
I know. It was crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you know a guy named Matt Pax? Somebody asked. I don't know.
No, I don't know him.
No Matt Pax. All right, we're pushing lower here still. So from this ATR bar, which was at 11:15, if we can crack below that, so we did exactly what I thought we were gonna do. We came down, I drew that next level, I put my stop above there because I'm like, if that doesn't hold, then we're just not gonna do what I think we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And so that's just like understanding, like, and now hopefully we push lower once again, given that time to do it.
Yeah.
Like these market mechanics, just like this is the stuff you'll learn. It's just super useful no matter what you're trading at the end of, obviously you got things to do, but I like to be done early in the day because I think, and you probably know this, there's only so much time you can do this.
Right.
You can do this you're not doing this
Your
for
brain's
6
not
hours.
capable.
Yeah, you're going to make mistakes, and you can have your rules and everything, but you got to live your life. It's an ends to a means, right?
Yeah.
Like trading is for it's like, that's why I got into trading. I was like, I want that lifestyle. I'm not necessarily like, I'm not trying to have $100 million. Like maybe it'll happen by the time I'm older if I can stay consistent. But like if I can just like consistently, put myself in a position to be able to enjoy my life, like that's like ideally like just cash flow, right?
Yeah, when I was on the trading floor, I'd leave for a couple hours a day. I probably wish I didn't now, but
Cool, cool. When you're on the trading floor, what?
no, I'd leave for a couple hours.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just
Go to
get,
Siri.
yeah.
Oh my
I'd go
God.
work out at 11.
Okay.
I'd come back at 1.
Good for you.
But
Yeah, I know sometimes I'll work out in the middle of the day.
yeah,
I mean, there is, and then it also separates, like,
it clears
especially,
your mind.
yeah, especially if you're taking losses and then you're
Yeah.
not, walk away if you don't
Yeah.
walk. Yeah, Ellie says, thanks for sharing your experiences. Come back again.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah, take care, Ellie. Yeah, so some people, like people be like, oh, I'm out, for the
Yeah.
day or whatever. Come in and get it and
Right. It's
get it
true.
and quit it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, especially if you're not feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, there's I'm a proponent of being patient, but there's always something to trade. There's just
Yeah.
there's not always great trades. Like
Right.
there's no great trades today, but like we're moving somehow,
Yeah.
like some one way or the other we're
Right.
moving. But yeah, now it is 11:35. Going into lunch hour here. See if we can continue lower. Yeah, not quite lunchtime in Chicago, but
Right.
New York. Get one more move lower. That'll be for me. That's a 20-point trade. That's a pretty.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, 20 points is nice.
Yeah.
It's enough.
What are these, the minis?
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
minis.
it's great though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like my initial risk reward ratio on this was like 2.1 to 5, or like
Right.
risk 1 to make 2.5.
Right.
Nothing, you don't really often get much, like of course who doesn't like a 10 times but that's just, that's not, if that's going to happen, it's typically you got to be holding for a longer period of
Right.
time and swinging. You're not getting a 5R,
No.
Unless it's a really clean trending market. Even, on a day like today, like 1.5 to 1, like,
Yeah.
you got to be aware that's what you're going to get. If you're
Right.
stretching for more than that, like
Right.
you're not going to get it. And you're going to be sitting in a trade all day.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, now we're breaking down through the open, entering in technically to the gap in the NASDAQ. So we've officially entered in the gap. I'd like to see us continue. That is going to give this ES a little more breathing room to get down to the next support. Officially broken through what I've wanted us to, of course. But let's see if we'll continue. I'm going to actually, I'm still going to leave my stop at this point. I'm going to get rid of these studies. They're kind of clouding my view right now, and I don't need them. Oh, sevens. I can move my stop just this down. $11 million at the 32 strike in the VIX. Wow. Let's hope he's right. That's way out of the money. What RS, what month was that option? Or what expiration? Hopefully not this week. We might be.
Yeah, I'd get short.
Yeah, what's that guy know?
I'd cancel your buy.
Yeah.
Make it a sell.
Yeah. Double down. Yeah. So, come on, if we can get through this.
32 strike print. So he's buying calls in the 32 strike.
I guess unless he sold them, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to. You can tell by, I guess, if it was sold at you bought at the ask or sold at the bid,
Right.
Or if it's the mid, you kind of don't know.
No.
But
but obviously
$11 million. I don't know. I don't know how many contracts that'd be.
Probably a lot. Depends on how far out it is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably a lot.
Yeah, a couple thousand for sure. I mean, $11 million.
Where's the VIX? 17 right now?
I don't even know. Well, I don't know. Is it the VIX? I forgot if it's you buy. I mean, shit. We're at $16. No new high on the VIX, which I'm not a huge fan of with this new low. No, I guess there's a new high in the futures. It's interesting. There's like so much like a new high in the futures, but not on the
Yeah.
actual. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not
I don't
fully.
understand the
I
VIX
yeah.
as well. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, I look at the price action,
Yeah.
but as far as like understanding like how the total volatility of the product works,
Yeah,
like I'm not an expert at it. But
nah, me neither. A lot of people used to do iron condors when it was higher volatility.
yeah.
An iron condor selling a put vertical and a call vertical,
Okay.
and then you just
Hope it stays
you
in the
hope it stays goes well. You hope it doesn't go out of both
out of.
ranges,
Yep.
but if you can create
Probably not enough premium in it now to make it worth
no,
it. Yeah.
no, no, because with the VIX, it's been staying in a range.
Yeah.
But in some of these big, crazy AI stocks, that are trading at 100 and something val, you can get a pretty good pop in selling the iron condor. A lot of guys do that to make money on it, and just
Uh-huh.
kind of wish and hope.
Yeah.
But you know what happens when you wish and hope?
Spray and pray. Yeah, not
Yeah,
not the best,
exactly.
not the best trading
No,
strategy.
it's not.
They say when you start praying, you should start taking it
Yeah.
off, right? Yeah,
There's many days.
anytime you get to please God
Yeah,
involved, please
I
God,
had a lot
just this one
I had a
time,
lot of those days.
just this
Yeah,
one time,
yeah.
just this one time.
Still
I
don't.
won't ever
I
do it
won't
again.
ever do it again, I swear.
I promise I'll
Yeah.
use a stop. Sometimes it works.
It does. Totally.
Yeah, no, it's like I put my stop in, I keep my size relative. I've learned that lesson for.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, yeah, it
That's
takes.
how people go broke.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, gotta learn it. Gotta get hosed a few times before
Yeah.
you're like, why don't I listen to everything I just tell myself? Like, why don't I follow my own
Yeah.
rules?
Yeah, discipline.
Here's so that we haven't been able to that heavy gamma level, like
Mhm.
that 601's
Right.
right here. So this is everything Perry's got marked up. Let me bring this in the screen so people can see what I'm talking about. But so guys, this is what Perry shares. We have that large gamma call wall. We got above it, but getting above it and staying above it are totally different. And then really those levels he's got below us that are significant are the next call wall from prior is all the way down at 596. So we might, failing from this is could lead us down to that, and that's just in the options dealers market. So that's in the Qs. Let's take a look at the SPY and the SPX. So you got that, I think, important level at the 6650s here, and then really 6600. So that's still away. We'll watch. That's going to be the next significant level below us is 6650. We're just still kind of drifting around. No heavy conviction. And then in the SPY, do you do too much index trading at all, or like index
A little
options
bit.
trading? Yeah.
So when you pointed out that call wall,
Yep.
what that is these guys that are long those calls
Mhm.
are going to be selling futures against that.
Yep.
So
Correct.
that will bring the future down because there's liquidity coming in to sell,
Mm-hmm.
and their deltas are increasing as that future goes up. They're increasing, so then they're putting a little cap on that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because and then they'll buy their futures back lower because their deltas decrease,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can get, so they're just trading the premium
Yep. They're trading the premium and hedging.
and hedging it.
Yeah, and there's so much volume in these options now
Oh,
that
yeah.
these have really like this stuff used to not matter as much, and it's become more and more meaningful with the amount of people that
Open
trade.
interest
Yeah,
in these
yeah.
options. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I remember, when I first started trading. I know it's a long time after you first started trading, but I remember when weeklies came out.
Right.
And then that was just in the indexes.
Yeah.
Then they had weeklies in the big name stocks. Now they got weeklies in almost
Everything,
anything with
yeah.
and then it was like, hey, how about dailies? Now they
Right.
got, I think they mean over, I don't know what the last newest product is in the options market, but I mean, there's been an evolution
Yeah.
of product offerings. And it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with it's keeping the volatility index within a certain range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not getting as big of swings because you have so much option volume that,
Everybody's hedged.
yeah,
So they're not scared to get out. Yeah, I mean it's it's become like they've really for the professional market makers, it's really become a money maker for
yeah,
them. I mean,
yeah.
it's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm afraid we're just gonna if we don't get rejected at the 16, we might just go into a long consolidation
Yeah,
for I mean just because now you have the time of the day
right.
changing, volatility slow. It's already
Europe
slow.
closed.
It's already slow. It's
Yeah.
gonna get slower. And then they'll probably be, I still think we're eventually maybe going to get down there, but it's like,
It always seems like the biggest moves are on the open and close
yeah,
of the New York, like,
for sure. Especially if you have, generally speaking, a
mhm, right.
low volatility day.
But when you get those you get those moves overnight, and then it's,
Yeah.
our opening or our closes when you're going to get
Uh-huh.
the most action after that. It's like the intraday, it's just staying within the pattern.
Yeah. Are you do you, so like you don't even have charts set up. You said you're at Merrill or you don't have any charts set up?
Merrill, I don't have charts set up, but
Okay.
I look at them on Tasty Trade though,
Okay.
and uh, Thinkorswim. I'll look at some of the charts.
Do you have Thinkorswim on your phone?
Yeah, I think I
They
do.
got a pretty good
Yeah,
mobile app.
I do.
Yeah.
Tasty. What is it?
Tasty Works or was
Or
it?
no, Thinkorswim. Oh yeah, Thinkorswim. Yeah, here it is.
I mean, it's working. It's just real slow. It's like being at the being at the checkout line at like
Yeah,
a food place. You're like they're working, but man, they're real slow.
it
Like I
is.
mean, I'm getting my food, but man, it's taking a long time. I'm gonna eat eventually, but boy, I'm getting hungry. It's like that's how I feel right now. It's like I'm right on my trade, but man, you guys take way
Yeah,
too
you're gonna
long to
make me
cook that.
work. You're making me really work
You
for this
guys, yeah,
little
you guys
trade.
are making me wait way too long.
Yeah,
At some point, that's just it's like, you got to say, is it,
seriously.
but you know,
All right, so here, this is my Tasty Trade. I mean, my Thinkorswim. More charts. I don't even see charts on here. Overview. It's so hard to look at on a phone.
yeah, I think or so. I mean, if you want, I don't know if would you be interested in downloading the software? I could get you like
Yeah.
yeah. Why don't you pull up your laptop? Do you need it charged up?
No,
Or
it's charged.
I was gonna say you can, if
I
you want,
charge it myself.
or you can do it in your lap or whatever. I know I don't have a whole lot of my
That's
desk
fine.
is kind
Don't
of a
worry about
mess. But yeah, just Google Thinkorswim and then
it. I think I have
okay,
it
if
on
you have it on
on
your
my
computer, cool,
computer.
because I can get you, that's a nice, and that's why I use this software. I can just share things
Right.
over, and it's just like, I mean, setting all this up. I mean, ain't the easiest thing to do, but
No,
if somebody,
it's I
also a lot of these things are custom things that I've built.
right. I've called those guys before, and
They
if you
used to
get a
be
good right,
a lot more helpful than they
yeah.
are now because, like I said, they don't really care
I have a
anymore.
buddy of mine that works there still. I think he's on salary. Um, but he does a program that what's your internet here?
It's THC or THW, THW. Let me get you the passcode. Jeez, forgot what it is.
he pays for some option software that they're chatting and yada 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 all day long.
Yeah. Okay. The passcode's gonna be 214-435-4914. Yeah, you got it.
He's doing he likes to do like time spreads for credits.
Okay.
So, it's like a risk reward is zero. You're risking zero to make good money. Like he'll go way out of the money. Like for like that 32, what was that, 32
The
strike?
32 strike, yeah.
So he'd sell those.
Okay.
Like say it was March of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
He'd sell those and then he'd buy like the Junes where there's very little activity, and he'll say, okay, if I can do this 32 call spread for a credit or even money,
Mm-hmm.
if the VIX pops,
Great. If it doesn't, whatever.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just nothing. He paid nothing, but he's done a couple where he's made
So when he's paying nothing, is he legging in at different times?
sometimes.
I was gonna
sometimes
say, because I mean,
so like that could have been a what's it called bid where it's a hidden bid.
iceberg.
Yeah, iceberg bid where you can see that, or like he'll get a text from someone saying, hey, there's an iceberg bid on the 32 calls. It's a nickel.
Yeah.
Maybe they bought them for a nickel. I don't know what strike it is, but he'll go and try and pay 2 cents for, like, say it was March. He'll try and pay 2 cents for the June 32s or 3 cents.
Okay.
And if you could do it for nothing,
Yeah.
even if you did it for nothing, your break even is zero. It costs you nothing. I
Yeah,
mean, not
maybe
your break even.
commissions, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your commissions. And then he's like, but I can make, fuck, if the VIX pops March after March expiration,
Mhm.
he's naked long the June ones for nothing.
That's I mean,
and it's
ideally
like-
being in it, I'd take as many risk-free trades
yeah,
and
I'd do
potential
the-
upside as I
yeah,
could.
I did
And
it.
that's the easiest way to make money,
Right,
right? If I can
right.
buy a bunch of things that cost
Exactly.
nothing,
It costs
maybe,
nothing.
maybe if they're worth something, you know.
Right. So
I
it's
mean,
like that's the kind of shit he does. And I'm going, well, that's not bad.
yeah, I mean, that's a great strategy.
And that's what he was doing during COVID. And he said you could do stuff for like a dime credit, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, with the,
know,
I mean, the
500
probability,
times.
let's say the probability is low, the upside, but when the upside hits, you get one
Yeah.
one trade
It's a home
pays.
run.
Yeah, one trade. That's all you need.
You make 50 grand on a spread like that.
Yeah, especially when you have, like, I mean, in a market type like that, that's the thing. Like, over time, there's so many different market types, and in different market types, there's really different effective ways to make better money. Like,
Right.
futures are not always, in my opinion, they're just kind of more for me. Like, it's just a way to, like, you're not hitting huge trades like you would maybe in an options market in a super high volatility,
Right.
but like you're in there and like you're able to control your risk a little more. That's why I like them, at least
Yeah.
the way I've learned how to trade. But
Yeah.
I'm very aware, like, because I'll have friends, like when the crypto was running hot, I got friends that know nothing about trading coming in, their returns are like excessive. But I'm like, you know what, like, you don't know what you're doing, so
Right.
later you're fucked.
Right.
They'll learn that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, my brother, he's been doing really well with AI stocks, but he has no idea. I'm like, well, what if you did a call spread in there? He's like, well, I don't even
it's like,
know
well, yeah, he's like, well, what I'm doing's working. That's what
Right.
they always say. What I'm
Exactly.
doing's working. Why
Right.
would I do
So
anything
here you
else?
go.
Okay, cool.
There's no money in this account.
Yeah,
This was like
I don't
the
even.
It doesn't.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't
Got
keep.
21.
I don't
It's-
keep money in my swim either.
So here, so what do I?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email you something actually. So, and then it'll just kind of populate everything.
I should close this. Stocks out. They have not done it. It's like when I switched all my retirement money to Merrill. They just left the like 50 shares of 25 shares of this.
Yeah, just whatever you're holding.
Well, the little stuff that they couldn't. But meanwhile, I had fucking J.P. Morgan in my retirement account. The guy sold it. And like I don't even know what price, but that was a huge winner.
Nice. That they always anytime you shift, they sell your biggest winners. I had a buddy of mine. He was like, he had a bunch of money in bonds, and
Oh yeah.
he had like 500,000 in bonds, and
Well,
he had like a 50K stock portfolio, and he had me pick the stocks, and
mhm.
his $50,000 in stocks had returned more than 500,000 in bonds.
Right.
And so he calls up, his money manager or whatever. He's like, hey, like, I've made more money on
Right.
50K than I had on 500,000
Yeah,
doing
that's
this.
like my think tasty trade account. I doubled my money.
Oh
I made
yeah.
100% on AI stocks,
Wow.
and I made 25% on my retirement account. And my
Yeah.
other stuff that was with Merrill. It's like, okay, I can do this on my own.
What's your email?
Todd,
Okay.
TODD. There I am. Right
Oh,
there.
there. Okay. Cool. Nice. If must have emailed you. I'm going to. So I'm going to send you this link, and I'm just going to title this toss, and then this should work. Let's see. So check your email.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So just copy that link.
Okay. And go back to the thinker.
Yeah, and then go to Thinkorswim. Do you use a mouse when you're at home ever, or you use your trackpad?
Trackpad. I know
I was gonna
my
say.
girlfriend hates the trackpad.
I mean, if you're used to it, I mean,
I am.
go right ahead. I
know
hate
she
the track.
hates it.
Well, there's some once you start charting, like there's so much,
right. So what do I?
So go into setup here,
Okay.
and then open shared item, and then you're gonna paste that in there, and then hit preview. For whatever reason, it makes you do that, and then import.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, successfully. Let's see, and then if we go, go to charts real quick, and then I click main. And it's gonna open a bunch of stuff, but
That's okay. Oh wow.
yeah, there's a couple, and then I can just say, you can. This is actually pulling up a bunch of, this. So
these are all my stocks.
well, yeah, those are going to be your watch lists.
Okay.
And then one of the cool things here, so these are all color coded. So this must be attached. So if I like type in like, you could type in, what was that one stock you said you had, or QBTS?
TS.
Yeah, like this is just QBTS, like a bunch of different time frames. Just minimize that. But the main thing I look at, so you have a couple things here. This is golden oil, and then this is another one of those coded things, which I'll spend some time with you. And basically, my codes aren't transferred over to you, even though I thought they would have been. But so if I type in the NASDAQ, this is an hourly, that's a 15-minute, that's a 5.
Okay.
And this morning when I talked about us like kind of getting below that like 62s,
right.
Now that we're below that, that's like a secure. So I'll just if especially if I'm ever in it where if I'm trading and I'm wrong a couple times, I'll go back to this and be like, okay, like zoom out, like if I'm wrong 2 times in a row,
right.
I'm just against the trend. Like you're gonna be wrong.
Right. Of course.
You're gonna be wrong once. You're gonna be wrong. You're gonna be wrong twice in a row. But like then I'll be like, okay, like what's going on here? Like, because this is what I'm doing right now. Like we basically just traded a trend reversal. We came up. I mean, it was exactly what we talked about. We're a little high, but the trend is long.
Right.
We'll try along. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
Time to get short.
Yeah.
It's all that breakdown. And now we're back below some of the price action we had this morning, but that's when I'll zoom out and just you gotta watch all of the time frames. But mostly what I'm trading.
This is so hard to read. Because it's so.
Yeah, so you can zoom in
right
like this, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's like hard to, because it's 20 days.
Oh,
this will be 20 days. So this is why I use a mouse is because this function, which is click and drag.
Oh right.
Is a little harder to do on a trackpad.
Totally.
But that'll zoom it in. But yeah, I mean when they're all zoomed like that.
Right.
Forget about reading them, but I mean, like anything else, it's getting used to like
So
what's.
you would say, so you would sell this once it hit here, you're like, oh, okay, it looks like it's going to trend down.
Yeah, so in this example, because I'll show you why I got short. So I took the ES here as opposed to the
Right.
NASDAQ.
Because
Um,
the ES was not reacting the same. It wasn't catching up to the NASDAQ.
yes, yeah. So NASDAQ was a little stronger. I mean, of course, if they're both going to turn, like
Mm-hmm.
great, but the ES was really breaking first.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I'm gonna just reload this. Um, but this morning I had my anticipated resistance level, which I said, this dotted red line
Right.
is like kind of my big level of the day of for shorts at least. And so
But who put that in? You put that
I
in.
put it in.
Okay.
So I put it in and then I share that with like, whoever's
On.
my members so they can
Sure.
populate like what I just did with you. Like my levels didn't share over. This is just my entire layout.
Right.
But like in the morning, you can load the grid, and so we came up there. But then, what I wanted to see is confirmation.
Yeah.
I can't, I can't be the only guy
Right.
selling it.
No.
So when we got this bar down here, um, that is when the previous bar and the following bar, that's called a fair value gap, like they didn't have any overlapping price action.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a 5 minute gap. It's not like it's normally it should never be significant in an isolated. If you're just looking at it isolated, you're going to be looking at too many signals.
Right.
But because it's at an important short level of resistance for me, and we've gone sideways for so long. Well, if we can't go higher,
Right.
we're probably going lower.
Yeah.
So that's where I got short in the ES, and then I did a couple of different analysis to just determine. But a lot of these things, like when anybody comes in, like a lot of it's of course it's gonna be advanced, but because I'm able to like kind of like talk through it,
Mm-hmm.
sooner or later you'll start to pick it up.
Right.
And that's like the whole goal that I try to provide by talking through my decisions,
Mm-hmm.
because why would anybody understand what I'm doing unless I'm telling you why I'm doing
Right.
it, right? Like,
Right.
if I'm just clicking buttons, it's kind of useless because you don't understand why I'm doing what
Right,
I'm
of
doing.
course.
So it's just a bunch of if then statements. And
Mm-hmm.
the one thing is just like first thing you got to learn is like you're just how does a bar look?
Right.
Like what is it open, what an open closes,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's just a couple of
I know. I mean, I'm clueless on charts.
yeah.
And you're probably going, I can't fucking believe it. But I never,
No, I mean
I never
I get
used,
it.
I
You're
had
not
different fundamentals.
yeah, no, I mean I totally understand. Like I mean Tom never used charts.
Really?
Tom never. I mean,
Yeah, he
back
probably didn't.
he
We
didn't
didn't.
use charts.
Right.
He'll say, I don't use charts. You guys. I mean, there was no charts on the floor.
Right.
It was you
No.
look at some other guy and you look at the way he's
Right.
angry or he's
Yeah.
pissed his pants.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
then that's your chart.
Right.
Your charts.
Exactly.
Your charts. The blood
Or
vessels
there
in the
was
guy's neck.
there was a board and you knew what was in the book. Like we could see what the book was. So we'd be able, okay, we could lean on that book. Because I know that I can just scoop the book. If I need to get long, those calls in the book are sitting there and I could see it. I could buy those and flatten out my position or get long or buy some puts or sell some puts and get long that way or whatever. There was always something you knew. And you knew like the orders in the pit because a broker would be standing there offering something out. And that was my knowledge. That was very important. This is very important. People live and die by these
For
things.
sure.
This is taking over our industry. It's the trend is your friend, and this is the trend. This is history. So this is the way that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild for me to think about without trading charts. Just like,
Right.
Like for
Right.
me to think about like how you traded. I mean, and then of course the game has changed too. The game was totally different back then, and the spreads were wider, and you had different types of edges that don't exist. Like there's
Right.
no $2 wide spreads
No.
you can manually trade in
Right.
and out of, and
Right.
cover the
I
other
mean,
side. But
Well, and we were the house.
Yeah,
You're the house when you're down the pit. Now you're not the house. You're the customer, and you're going, okay, well, I need to know why this stock's going to go up. well, this is the history of
Mhm.
what it did, and this is what we have to look at. And
Yep.
that's it's the whole thing. It's it's like when someone's panic selling, that's when you want to buy.
Totally.
You know what I mean? It's like that's not when you panic. You turn around, you go, okay, well, I'll buy a couple here, and then I'll buy a couple. You average down
Uh-huh.
or average up on your sale.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the mental like structure behind fibs. The halfway back,
Right.
the halfway back is the panic,
Exactly.
right? And the negative 23 is the greed.
Yeah.
It's like that breakout into new highs
Right.
where everyone's like, oh, we're going up, and then it's like everybody, these programs or these traders, professional traders that are
Yeah.
waiting for that pullback. They're getting in when you're, afraid.
Right.
You're dumping into them.
Yeah.
You're dumping into
So
them.
when he said that there's a huge call
Call wall.
open interest in that one, what was he talking about?
He was talking about
That-
I think
It was in the NASDAQ calls, right?
yes.
So that tells me in that strike, when we would think about it, we're like, okay, well, it's going to close right at that strike because that's where the selling pressure comes in. Like when I said to you,
Mhm.
that's where the selling pressure is going to come in because people are picking up deltas that are long. That strike price,
Mhm.
when it goes up through that strike, they're getting long futures.
Yep.
Or whatever they have on against, the stock,
Whatever their need
whatever it
hedge,
is, whatever that option is in, they're getting long. Therefore, they got to sell futures against it because they're hedging their longs,
Mhm.
and it's going to keep that stock down. It's not going to blow through that strike.
Uh-huh.
Like someone said, there's like 6,000 open interest in something big, and I'm like going, well, that means that it's going to close near that strike
Yeah.
because the guys that are long it are going to keep a ceiling on it, and the guys that are short it are going to have to keep buying futures in against it.
It's gonna close right
It's going
there.
to close near that strike.
Yeah.
And it happens.
And that's just the
And it's
mechanics of the
smart,
market.
right? And it's smart, but it's smart money that has those positions on.
Yeah, well, they're the biggest players in the
Right,
game, and
exactly.
there are
And
reason.
those are
There's
the
a
guys-
reason. There's the biggest
Yes,
players in the
yes.
game.
And that's
that's-
something that definitely plays a huge role in where the market is today.
Totally.
And then you got these dailies, and you got the monthlies and the weeklies, and everything today. It's like we're not smart.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
the Goldman Sachs that's smart. It's the Citadel that's smart. They know they got all the fucking pieces of the pie.
Yep.
Trading is it's a big pie,
Mhm.
and you want to get as many of those pieces together that you can.
They got
And
they got the rocket scientists.
they have
They
everything.
got rocket scientists
They
writing
have everything.
programs. So
Right. This kid that works for NVIDIA, he used to work for CTC, Chicago Trading Corporation,
Uh-huh.
which is another very large trading company,
Uh-huh.
and he was their engineer.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, why don't you write me a program? He goes, I can't. I don't want to do that anymore. Well, the
Yeah.
guy's, he's done doing that shit. But
So this is, you remember I was talking about
Yes.
that orange line, how we usually revert there.
Correct.
So that's just, if we're opening above that orange line, I'm like, man, we're so far, but you got to wait for that sign of that mean reversion, because the last thing you want is to get short a trend day. I didn't think today would be a trend day. We opened up at that wall.
Right.
We waited for our short signal. We got the confirmation within the time frame. We wanted it within that.
Mhm.
It's the most important. That first 25 minutes is the most important part, and like literally just how I managed my trades. Got long, went my way. It was the right trade, but no juice there.
Right.
Get out, get short. 25 minutes later, we're cruising. We're not moving fast, but
Mhm.
like enough to, within that first time frame, if I can eliminate any risk, just like your buddy. I mean, he's taking trades where he's taking his risk off. If I can get my risk off in 25 minutes,
Yeah.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Right. 100%.
And if I can't get my risk off in 25 minutes, I probably don't want to be in the trade.
No. Because eventually it goes against.
Yeah, eventually if it's not going my way,
Right.
or it's just not going to move far. It's not
Yeah.
going to move far. We still haven't gotten quite to that same equal
Yeah.
position in the NASDAQ yet. I'm
Right.
still thinking we're going to get to this 02, but
Right.
it'll be
It'll be a long grind.
yeah.
Sometimes they make you work harder for your.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, it's 08. That's. Yeah. Right? 07, 08. It's
Yeah,
bounced back
07,
between
08.
07, 08, 07, 08. But here it got down to 06. Or it opened there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because there's no color on there. Why is there no color on that? Oh, because there was no trade that took place during that time?
Where?
See this one bar, the one line that's
Oh
one
yeah,
bar?
because it opened where it closed.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Oh yeah, I see it. There's a little horizontal line. How often does that happen?
Not often. It's
Right.
not like significant. Like
Right.
I don't.
I mean, you're dealing with the black boxes where there's so much, there's just so much information this day and age.
Yeah.
So how many people do you have on your chat thing?
It's not a ton. I mean, right now, if you look at my YouTube, you can see how many people. There's 22 people
Yeah.
currently watching. Their average view time right now is like 42 minutes. It's not
Yeah.
a ton.
Right.
Here, I probably have like how many people watching? Like 17 people watching here right now. So it's not like, you know, a
Right.
ton. But people come in and out all
Yeah.
day. A lot of
Sure.
people are working.
They did it 10
Yeah.
for
Here at, I think this may have been, no, that's 2020. It happened before then.
Yeah.
This is it. This
Yeah.
this is it.
Oh, it was a
It was
bloodbath.
2017. I mean,
Yeah, it
gosh, I
was a
got to go to a
bloodbath.
further chart.
It was
God, I
ugly.
forget how long. Been around too long. No, it's funny. I'm only 35, but
Yeah,
like
you're a
I've been,
baby.
I bought my first stock when I was 15 years old.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so at the time, so this was the halfway back. So we even went all the way down through it. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
this I think at the time it was $400.
I think you're right.
It was because I remember it
I
was
do too.
$400.
Yeah.
And now it's, I mean, God, I don't even know what that split ratio is if it was
Was
$8 then. But yeah.
it got down to nothing.
But look, you'll kind of see the, so we had this, it was in the accumulation on the 50 for the longest time, and then one final touch, and then we went right to the negative 23. And then we came straight back into that same old setup, just that
Yeah.
old halfway back.
Right.
And then we just straight up.
Yeah.
Let's see this low. Let's see, that's 2020 low. Too high. Look at that. That's it. We just traded it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I mean, the institutions trade these levels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see here. This doesn't roll over here. We're just going into nothing now.
Yeah. Where's
I'm still up 6 points, but yeah,
yeah.
like we just kind of
Right.
started coming back. I mean,
Right.
and that's what I figured during lunch. We still haven't. We
Mhm.
went right to that orange line
Yeah.
that I have over
Yeah.
here, and now there's just a slow gyration. I'm gonna move my stop down just a little bit
Yeah.
though.
I agree. Take profit.
Yeah. 17, there's 18.
So how do you so you put a stop order and you just go
Click and drag.
right. That's so easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to.
Yeah, I gotta get the thumb mouse.
Yeah, it's just.
It's much easier.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, I just think this really, the carpal tunnel. I don't know if, I mean, if you're at it all day, yeah, I mean, being on your phone too, like,
Yeah.
just sit here and doing one of these,
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're all gonna have carpal tunnel and vision
yeah.
problems, but
Oh man, my eyes are so bad.
they say whoever's gonna figure out how to, fix everybody's eyes is gonna be the next guy to make $1 billion. But
Yeah. Well, the laser surgery, but
yeah, I'm afraid of that.
I
I've
am
heard some
too.
horror stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see that far. Like, I have a hard time like driving at night.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
But like, I got glasses, but I can meander around.
Yeah.
I'm not blind.
When
Some
I
people
turned
can't
50
find the
is when I-
bathroom.
Yeah. When I turned 50, my eyesight went to shit. It was 2020, and as soon as I turned 50, I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything. It was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, both I mean, I don't know. You ever wear contacts though?
No,
I can't.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
I can't touch my eyes. It
Yeah,
freaks me
I can
out.
barely
Even-
put eye drops.
I was
in.
just gonna say
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I close my, I put it in the corner and it's like,
and I
let it
blink.
drift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
that's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
When
no.
I get stoned, I put Visine, and I'm like, it's the
Oh my
worst.
God.
No,
Yeah.
my eyes don't even get red when I get stoned.
There you go. There you go. Now you're immune. You're
Yeah,
immune.
I think I
Been
am.
smoking weed too long, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I definitely have never traded high. I feel like I forget to
yeah,
hit the button.
totally.
I'd just be looking at the screen, just all.
I'll tell you a funny story. I did it once. I was with two guys. We decided we were gonna go get stoned. There was nothing going on during the day. We got a cigar, and we walked outside the option exchange. We're walking around, and we're coming back like by Cacciatore. There's a real estate firm called Cacciatore.
I know Cacciatore family. Yeah.
So they turned it. So I'll tell you a funny story. They had cameras out there.
Okay.
And we're walking back around, and these cops pull up on the sidewalk, and they go, "Okay, get up." And we're wearing our trading coats.
Oh no way.
And they
No
go,
way.
"Get up on the curb,
Shut up.
hands against the car," and they start frisking us. I'm like, what's going on? I'm stoned. Like I'm scared shitless now because I got my trading card. I'm thinking, okay, I got kids at home. I'm gonna be on the front page of the Tribune that they busted me for smoking a joint.
Uh-huh.
They go, "Give us the shit. Where's the shit?" And they're feeling my groin. I'm like, what are you talking
Jesus.
about? They go, we want the white stuff. And I go,
Oh, they thought you were doing blow?
yeah.
Oh
Because
my
I
God.
guess
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
when,
yeah.
so there was big dealers down there at the time.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean,
I've heard stories.
Do it on the toilet seats down in the
Oh, that's
basket.
disgusting. Jesus.
So they wanted to find the dealers, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
think that
Yeah,
they
you're
got
the
us,
dealer. Yeah, yeah.
or we're gonna inform them of who's
Yeah.
dealing. I'm
They
going,
cut you with a little bit. They cut
right,
you to
exactly.
flip, whatever.
So I look at them and I go, officer, I was smoking a cigar. They go, we got you on tape.
Yeah.
When we saw you smoking joints.
Did they have? They were
and
into
they
the
split all three of us
uh-huh.
separately.
Get them
so we
rad. Get them rad.
Yeah. So then my one buddy pulls out his Marlboro pack of cigarettes and he goes, "Sir,
Yeah.
here's the roach.
Yeah.
This is all
Yeah.
we
This
were
is
doing
the
was
we.
smoke.
This is
Yeah.
all we got.
This is
Yeah.
all we got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're sorry.
Yeah,
What do you want?"
Yeah,
And they go,
couple old
Yeah,
guys getting
yeah,
high.
yeah,
Like, you know, like, give me a ticket.
but this was back when it was illegal.
yeah.
totally
It's hard.
illegal.
I mean, they could still
They could
bust
have
you.
arrested us
For sure.
So
for sure.
anyway, they go, "Okay, we're gonna let you guys go. If you don't know anything, we're really looking for the white shit."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're like,
yeah, no,
sorry, sir, we don't have anything on us.
Yeah.
So they let us go.
We're a little too chilled out.
Yeah, we were so scared. It was the only time I ever got high on the floor. That was it. I never got high again.
Yeah, I would imagine that'll
But
scare the shit out of you. I
scared
mean,
the shit out of me. I thought
paranoid enough, man. Oh God.
I was done. I'm like, that's it. Yeah.
That's funny. That's the one time they busted.
time.
That's crazy.
One time.
Yeah, that's.
But they did have a bust, and they took a lot of the employees off because they were the guys that were the quote reporters that were putting in the quotes for us. They got busted. They were dealing coke, and I didn't know it, but that's how they made their money.
Yeah.
They were.
I would imagine there's probably God. I mean, I heard rip a bag of blow and go as serious like back. I mean, what was this?
Yeah.
Was this the 90s or the 80s?
That was probably the 90s when I was doing that. Or because I didn't start till 86.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess.
So yeah, 90s. But it was.
I don't know how. I mean, trading under any kind of substance would scare me.
No,
I mean, I've placed a couple of trades drunk, and I
there was a lot of guys that were, down at 9 a.m. They were at Ceres getting drunk.
Yeah.
And then going back up to trading firm.
I've been there one time.
Yeah.
And I had, the standard whiskey or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they give the Canadian whiskey.
I used to get a Traveler.
Yeah.
They'd put it in a coffee cup, a styrofoam coffee cup, 16 inches,
Traveler.
and it was full of vodka. Like you get kind of an absolute. Because back then it was only absolute that we had. I'm thinking absolute on the rocks, and I'd get on the train, and by the time I'd get to the airport, I'd be so fucked up I couldn't even walk.
Oh my God!
Plane.
Yeah, it's like a half a bottle of vodka and a to-go cup and a coffee.
That's why when remember the police chief got busted.
Yeah, you got a DUI? Yeah. Was with this police.
I knew it as soon as I said he was at Sirius. I'm like,
oh, he's done. He's done. That's hilarious that they go there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's still open now.
Oh yeah, I think
they pour a mean drink.
Yeah, really. It is the only place in Chicago, and it's not that expensive.
No,
it's the only place in Chicago you can go have one drink and be fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're literally known for. I think and that'll never exist again.
Never. But the Cacciatore family owned this other place. It was the train.
What's the building they own down there? Do they own one by the?
So now so now that building that they owned that was
weed shop.
It's a weed shop, and I'm going I think that's the funniest thing ever because they were busting us, and now they own.
It's so funny.
Shop.
They were participating.
Yes,
guys, they were giving the cops access to their cameras. That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
The Cacciatore. I mean, they were very wealthy Chicago family.
Yes, huge.
Yeah.
I met one of the guys, and so there was a train next door to the Cacciatore that. I think their family owned the real estate, and they used to have hookers upstairs.
Oh God!
So hookers and blow upstairs.
Oh man!
And then downstairs was just a regular bar. But you had to go. You had to be invited upstairs.
I got to be a member.
Yeah, you had to be a member. And
the old Italians.
I said we should reopen that place for one party for everybody to come back. It'd be the best party ever.
I believe it.
It's never reopened.
It's just nothing up there.
It's nothing
right now.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move my stop just below this high, up 7 points. Yeah, they were just not doing anything. I mean, we're still within the trend, but there's so much
I know.
We've had an ATR bar that's kind of closing a candle. I'm really gonna tighten it up here just above this high, and that's basically. If we take out that high, then whatever. There's just ain't nothing.
And if you want to stop for the day,
Yeah, no, I'm
I
probably
get it.
done here for the morning,
I
but we
get
can set. I don't know if you want to do any more stuff on your computer.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, we
set
can.
something up.
I'm gonna shut down this stream. Um, and then yeah, I usually don't I don't keep my YouTube going. This is pretty long. I'm sure we've been entertaining, but like
Oh yeah.
this will
Oh,
stay.
we're done.
Yeah, this will stay
Yeah,
open. Yeah,
they
yeah.
probably love my
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah, no, for sure. Everybody loves the what do they call the war talk or the war stories. Yeah, no, I mean, I think anybody, like, I've always loved hearing people tell stories about like the pits and stuff because it's
Yeah.
like, it's a time capsule. It's like, what was going on back
Right.
then,
It was.
I mean, I'm sure some of these people watching it weren't even born by the time,
You know, when we saw the Wolf of Wall Street, that was real.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the
I
real
read
deal.
that book before it became a movie, and I was
Did
like,
you?
this is gonna be a
Yeah.
great movie.
Great movie.
And then it came out as a movie, and I was like,
And
man.
the thing that was the mortgage short in 2008,
The Big Short, the video or the
yeah.
movie.
That was, I remember Susquehanna was going in and buying and getting short all the mortgage companies.
Uh-huh.
They knew.
Wow.
They just knew. It was unbelievable.
It's so crazy to think about a mortgage crash now because it doesn't seem possible.
I don't think it would happen again.
Yeah, I don't think it would happen again with the way everything's structured, and there's so much capital out there.
Before that, back then, they would write. You'd come to a lender and you'd say, "I need to get a mortgage." You go, "Well, bring me something that shows how much money you make." You bring a trading statement that says you make $1 million.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They go, "Oh, okay, we'll write you a mortgage."
That's crazy.
And you have to put no money down. There was interest-only loans, so people were buying
so many homes at the same time.
Yeah, and people were just buying homes and saying, "Oh shit, I can't pay my mortgage." They got no skin in the game. So instead of renting, you could buy this place for 500 grand. Okay, well,
they're just holding on to it.
They're just holding on. to
Yeah, just speculating because there was so much flipping going on. There's not as much flipping going on.
There was pre-construction buying.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
People would buy and say, "Well, I won't even take delivery and I'll sell it."
Yeah.
After they break ground, the price will go up 50%. So I'll sell it.
Yeah, I remember the home building. Now it feels like there's no place to build a home. There's no more land in any desirable place.
And the price has gone up for building costs have gone up so much.
Yeah.
With the supply costs.
All right, guys, I'm going to shut down the YouTube live stream here, and me and Todd are going to just do some things on his computer, but my Zoom will stay open, and I'll answer questions in the chat if any of them come through. But hopefully you enjoyed Todd and our conversation, a little bit of war stories about a trader who's been around longer than I've been alive, and he's sharing with us some things, and we're sharing with him. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.
Good luck on your trades.
Yeah, take care. Just take another. But yeah, so what I'll do is a couple of my studies for whatever reason didn't share, so I'm gonna just email you over, and then I'll just do it just to make it easy, and then we'll save it.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to load it.
Okay.
So like even if you want to start like just like you can do like really small trades, like obviously know your own risk tolerances, but like $100-200 of risk for a trade is realistically what you can keep it under, and then from there you can decide what you want to do. But just getting the hang of things, or just even learning how to trade with charts.
Right. That's huge. That's really what I want more than anything, because then I can incorporate options into it. And you and I can even chat about that stuff, like a stock that's reversed 50%, and you say, well, I think it's a good time to get long. I could say, well, here's what I would. Here's another way of getting long this options play.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of different things, I think.
Yeah, I actually have in our chat room, we have a stock chat. It's not as active.
Right.
But people throw their ideas out, and everybody will put in, which is nice because everybody understands these charting methods, and so we'll come up with like I put Baba. Baba came into its halfway back and just hit its target. So I had everybody in my room buying Baba back. I think it was maybe 120. I don't remember exactly, but same pattern I just showed you on all these stocks. I mean, here's another, like right now, I'll put this in the chat. Like, hey, Chipotle's this is a 2-year halfway back. And then funny thing is like, so this is this same pattern. This is like, and you'll find this super useful. So like SPX, we did the exact same thing in the SPX and the QQQs. The COVID low.
Oh yeah.
So this was just halfway back. That was what we in 2022.
Right.
We came halfway back of the COVID low, and then we went to its target, and then
Right.
the 2022 low to the high. That's where we stopped.
Was that in April of this year?
Yeah, like I mean, that's programmed
So
buying.
think about that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So, it's not like there's my belief with just charts in general, most of it is random.
Right.
And there is no edge.
No.
But there is specific places where there is edge. You just kind of got to know where those are. So we'll be approaching the target of this SPX, which with the rate cuts and kind of all that stuff, I think it's like a good longer term, like Perry was saying, maybe think about every 4 weeks reducing your total portfolio size by 3 to 7% every month until you're like your equities at least, because we will eventually get,
Oh yeah.
and you're never gonna know, you're never gonna catch the high. I never try to catch the high. You can reduce exposure, you can hedge, but there's no magic.
No.
They're catching the lows a little easier.
Yeah.
Because the market goes up, but catching the high, forget
It's
about
impossible.
it. Yeah, it's impossible. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, so when I share, I'm going to share this. This is going to populate with all of my studies.
Okay.
So see, it says share everything on the
Yeah.
chart, and click that, and then I'm just going to email this over to you.
You think this computer's got enough?
I'd have to look at, you'll be able to tell.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The only thing is so you have outports. So
Yeah.
do you hook this up to?
I'm gonna hook it up to a monitor. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a 32-inch curved monitor.
Yeah, I've run so many different setups. I don't really need much more than this. Let's see here. Yes. Share.
So what's your favorite product to trade with?
Probably the NASDAQ and ES. The reason I like those between it, because that's the only one that you can actually trade a correlation on. I can't trade a correlation. So it just adds one extra signal for my position. So I'll be most active in those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say, but the NASDAQ, I would say I probably place more trades. It's a little more, it's a bigger contract. The notional value is, but yes, I try not to be some people only trade one, which is fine.
Yeah. Look at this. NVIDIA about to trigger another 150 times opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? They're probably pitching a side stock.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I those newsletters.
I know. My brother loves these things. I'm like,
well, everyone's always like, "What's the news? What's the news?"
Yeah. I'm like, be careful.
Yeah. I mean, they're copywriters.
Yeah.
They're just writing they can make a fucking piece of paper sound like a good investment.
Yeah.
I just look at, I have no fundamental edge. I mean, I can read a report like that, but unless the stock is moving, I don't care.
I don't either.
Yeah,
half the time I didn't even know what the fuck I was trading. People are like, "What does this company do?" Well, I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, people always ask me that too. They're like, what do you do? Trade off news? I'm like, well, I mean, I know what the economic data is, but by the time there's no edge in knowing what the news is.
And by the time you get the news, it's so old.
Yeah.
The rumor news theory is one of the most true things in the world about trading. Once the news comes out, it's done.
Yep. It's just all these alerts going on. Every time I reload everything, it ding ding dings because I'm loading it all up. Let's see here. I want to. Just gonna send you over these. Okay. I'm sending you 3 of those links here. And then those will populate with, they should with all of these studies I have on my chart. And then we'll save that. So like anytime you open up Thinkorswim, that'll populate, and then I'll just show you like I have futures typed in there, but obviously you can switch stocks, and I'll just show you like a couple tricks that maybe you'll
Okay.
like getting rid of the studies and stuff. Like,
Did I close out my? Oh no, here's my Thinkorswim. Oh wait, I have to open it up again. I think. Oh no, here it is.
yeah, you're open. So yeah, go to the main one, and then you're gonna.
What do I go to? Education? No.
You're gonna go to setup.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep, setup open shared item, and then go to the email I sent you. Go to yeah. I hit the cancel there because it's not letting you run any functions until.
Right.
Yeah, here it is. Yep. So just start with the first one. And then yeah, to the main. You can actually exit out of these for the time being.
Okay.
Yep. That one. Because we're gonna open them with the studies. So go. No, don't exit out of that one.
That's the main one.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll close the program because so there you go. There you go. You opened it. So cool.
No, I already opened that one. I did.
Okay, yeah. So then go to the next link I sent you.
Shared. That why would it?
And then you import. It's just yeah. It's weird. It should just open, but
there we go. Okay.
and then maximize it real quick. I'm just going to show you how. So then go here. That's 2 boxes. Is your thing touchscreen?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted. Oh, cool. So save grid as, and then I save it like that. There you go. Perfect. That's actually kind of nice that it's touchscreen.
Yeah.
And then okay.
Don't prompt again.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll go to the other one. Go down here, and then go to the NASDAQ.
This one?
Yes. Yeah, I think it should be that one. Or maybe that's the one already open. Let's see here. Here we go. I'll just maximize this. Do the same thing. Oh, let's save study set. No. And then we're gonna save this grid as I just save it like that. Cool. And then we'll open the final one.
Oh wait, I gotta go back to the.
It's just a bunch of notifications coming up. When you load that, it's
Wow. So how do I
yeah.
go here?
So yep, this is my save grid as 3. I just have a 3 vertical. But this one, okay, one of the things what I'm paying attention to most here is actually these numbers at the top. So you see how this is 3, 5, 3, 5 gold. Like anything above a cumulative score of 10 is just like only trade to the long side. Anything below a cumulative score of -10, so this is -3, so it would be +1, so that'd be -2, -7, -6.
-5, right?
Yeah, so -5. So I'm adding them all together. So it's +1, -5, so -4, +1, -3, -3. So negative the cumulative score across all of these time frames. And that's just something I'll watch in the morning between these indexes. So I'll say, okay, if it's there's no strong bias if the cumulative score is below -10 to +10.
There's no
strong. I have no like strong. So like
okay.
gold here, the cumulative score of these indicators is above 10. So there's a strong bias to only trade the long side.
Okay.
Both the NASDAQ and the ES do have like a medium cumulative score. It's -3 +1, -3 +1. So
this is 2, 5, 4.
Yep.
So
yeah, whatever. Either side, like there's not a strong. So one of the things like if you're ever in a trade, like let's say I'm trading gold today and I'm trying to short and I never looked at this. I guarantee if I'm trying to short gold and I'm stopped out twice, I could go to look at this and I'm like, this sucker's over 10. What am I doing?
Right.
So some of this looks like a whole lot, like it's really scary, but really there's only 3 things.
But this is like the Bible.
Yeah. So that's what so it's just a really easy way for me to kind of just create a general bias using indicators that I've built.
Right.
I explain all of how those numbers come across, and you can go into all that detail, but realistically, I just keep it easy. Like the cumulative score number.
Yeah.
In oil here, you got -5, so it'd be -10, +3. So oil's
7.
Yeah, 7. But if it was like -10, then it'd be like only to the downside. But none of these the only market that's like truly, and then of course you can add your personal spin on it. You do your own analysis, but just to keep, and you can actually put any stock in there. So I mean, if you were to pick a stock, say if you were to put QBTS in there. So this is something you can, it'll tell you right now. 3, -1. There's no right now. We are consolidating, and that's and this is for day trading.
Right.
So that's and it's not really.
So what was this then? See, I got to get the symbols right too. I don't remember all this symbols.
Yeah.
Negative. I mean, it's backslash.
NQ.
So that's the NASDAQ.
Yep.
And that's the mini NASDAQ. So
that's
so what is it? Each tick is $25 or $12.50.
Each tick is 5 points. 1 point is $20.
Okay,
and on the mini, each tick is 50 cents, and each point is $2 on the micro. I'm sorry, on the micro.
Wow.
The micro, so per point is $2 on the micro. I mean, the ticks kind of irrelevant at this point, but I mean, I'm surprised they don't move. I guess they can leave it at ticks, and then
but per point is $50 per point.
No, it's 20.
Oh yeah, $20.
20. Yeah, and so like even if you want to trade the MNQ, so the most of the symbols,
that's the micro.
Yeah, it'd be MNQ for the ES. It's ES is the S&P, and then it's MES
for the mini micro.
Yeah,
mini S&P.
And then I think CL is MCL. So CL is oil.
Oh yeah.
GC is gold. MGC.
Yeah. I can always Google it too.
Yeah, that's like one of, it's like, that's like I tell people, there's just like those little things that like once like I honestly don't have the time. I don't know, one thing I don't really know is the rollover letters, because sometimes it's like H, and each it's like HZ, like
So this is January It's January's A.
It makes no
I
sense.
know it doesn't.
I
agree.
wish it
I
made
know.
some sense.
It should, but it doesn't. You're right, because I think March is like G or something.
Q.
Or
Like I know it's
can't
like Q. It's like Q8. I even
Yeah, I
forgot what
forget.
September is. But on the only I only need to use that about one.
H was March, actually. I
The
think.
rollover gets a little weird, which of course is
July is A,
quarterly.
believe it or not.
Okay, yeah,
It's fucked up.
yeah. I'm like, who made up this?
I
I
don't
wonder
know.
if it's like Latin or something.
I don't know.
I have no
Never
idea.
made it. It's so true because I remember November was X.
Okay.
December, I don't
Yeah, in
remember. At
different.
least in the soybeans, I don't remember. Which is probably the same for every
Well,
product.
yeah, I think it is. But the other thing is like different products. So like oil rolls over monthly,
Right.
indexes roll over quarterly.
But
I don't
then
even know when
so
Bitcoin rolls over.
then they do a roll, like they do a futures roll
Yep.
where the like you said JP Morgan's doing the roll. I
Yeah.
forgot what month it is or whatever. But they do a roll where they'll roll out of one future into the next month.
Uh-huh.
And you know that and you get long that future spread for that purpose.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
Like there's spreads you can trade.
Yeah, like a lot of I think and there's also something to do with the interest rates. I think the higher the
Yes.
interest rate, the bigger the spread is
Yeah.
because of the cost to carry.
Yeah, and then you got delivery factors that you can take into consideration. You don't want to trade the delivery month.
Yeah. Well,
Then you get delivered.
delivered some oil.
Yeah,
Or-
I was delivered soybeans.
No
quick.
way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
you
to
know-
pay for storage
Yeah, okay.
in an elevator. You're not
Yeah, they're not
backing
showing
a
up at your
truck. Yeah.
house.
But people
I wonder if
used,
you can take physical delivery of gold though,
Oh, yeah,
can't you?
yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
They used to do
I don't
that
know
at
what
the
I'm gonna
Board of
do
Trade.
with
They
I don't
had-
know what I'm
they
quarter
had-
$1 million of gold
right,
or whatever
right.
it is now. It might even be
They
more.
had, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But they used to have a vault down in the basement of the Board of Trade.
Oh,
That was
wow.
where they stored it.
Oh, yeah, I know that what it's a Comex, I think is the one. It's in New York,
Yeah.
but yeah, there was some weird stuff going on during COVID with the delivery because like there's
Bless you.
there was like a London contract and it's the contract sizes are like different because one
Right.
of them's a troy ounce or whatever the
Yeah.
deal was. So there was some discrepancy in being able to deliver because one of them was out of a certain way. And
Very
then, then they,
complex.
yeah. But so yeah, that's something I look at in the
So
morning.
you can't expand these.
So
Are
you
on-
can expand
here.
individual ones. So if you were to right click, this is where it gets.
But I don't want it, right?
You can because then you can minimize. So like I'm expanded. This is that expanded.
Oh, it
So
is,
like
okay.
if I just wanted to zoom in on one time frame and then, yep, there you go. So can you right click? Actually, wait, it's
here, like
right
that?
click. No,
Or just this is my right click.
okay, there you go. And then maximize grid cell. And then you can use these arrows up here to toggle through the time frames. So that's an hourly, that's a daily.
Where do you see that?
The D.
Oh,
Yeah. The
5
5.
minutes.
Yep.
1 hour.
Yeah,
4
and
hours.
then you're gonna switch through the product. So like
So, like here.
that's always GC, but if you wanted to like type in like I don't know anything, if you
anything.
wanted to look in, you type it in there.
I'm gonna be clueless on all this shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, it's going to take some time to learn, but I mean,
Yeah.
of course. But I mean, you're picking up. You've been doing it long enough. Like, dude,
Right.
I mean, you think you're clueless? Imagine how clueless I was when I started because I didn't have somebody showing me this shit.
Right.
It took me at a young kid probably
Right.
3 times longer than it'll take you.
Yeah, but
because
you know computers better.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not really a computer guy.
No.
Perry knows computers. Like,
Really?
like something happens, like.
Yeah.
I'll ask him like I got this new computer and like I didn't know how to move my stuff over from my old computer.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't know how to do that.
Not
Like I
me.
mean, like I know how to click a button. Like I know how to look up on YouTube.
Right.
But I mean Perry can fix your computer if it breaks.
Oh,
I mean,
seriously?
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he knows how to code. He's custom
Right.
writing
Oh,
software.
that's awesome.
I mean, it's great to work with a guy
Yeah.
like that because I'll come up with some idea and he'll code it out for
Right.
me. Which is
That's great.
yeah, I mean, and so he the way how me and him got working together, he came across my YouTube like probably 10 years ago now, and he's like, I've studied every single, he's looked at every single thing.
Yeah.
He's just he's a computer guy, he knows how to
Right.
back test. He's like, yeah, you're yours is the first thing I've ever come across that like has statistical value that I can like prove. And he's like, can you show me more of what you're doing? And I was like, sure. Like, and this is before I really had anything like going like teaching wise. And then like I got to learn him. I'm like, man, like you were a wizard, bro.
Right.
Like I'm like, and I was like, do you want to like just run a streaming channel for me? And like he just does it for fun. Like we don't make a ton of money doing this
Right.
stuff,
No.
but like it helps, I mean, just being able to vocalize and build like a community of other traders who, they come to learn your stuff. They
Right.
help open my eyes.
Right.
And if I'm not sitting here talking to people, like I'm pretty bored.
Right. Totally.
It's not exactly the most exciting
No.
career.
No.
the
Believe me, I know.
thing-
I mean, when you're sitting at home, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I sit at
I
home.
mean, I dress up to go to the grocery store. I mean, I'm
Right,
wearing
exactly.
sweatpants and
Yeah,
a t-shirt,
yeah.
This is my Sunday's best
Right,
right now. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really got much stuff, money,
Right.
many people to look good for, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
get
mean,
it.
that's just, but it's cool having like a community. So that's how me and him kind of got
Yeah.
hooked up. And yeah, I mean, he's great. I mean, the value he provides, but even like one little, I mean, he's got his own methods and stuff, but like
Right.
I pay attention to, like, if you see something and I see something the same, which right now there is
Right.
like something that we both have lined up today. It's right here.
Hmm.
It may not, I'll be watching that till tomorrow, and
Sure.
all I need is, all you need is one little nugget of
Right.
information. You don't need a ton of,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I mean, like what the type of trading we're doing here, I'm not like in and out, in and out. It's not like super hard. It's not that hard to follow,
Right.
like, I think scalping, you can't like copy somebody's scalping, or you can't
No.
like that's a very hard skill to learn. Like with the Fibonacci analysis I use and things like that, it's pretty mechanical, from that perspective. Therefore, like you're able to, like, people are able to kind of like replicate understanding the steps, as opposed to like some people teach like chart patterns, like
Right.
head and shoulders, or
Right.
like, I don't know, like the flags. There's a bunch of different patterns that people would like consider, and like I see them,
Hmm.
but like, you could say like, oh, this is a flag, right? Like, look, you got your top of the flag, and then the bottom of the flag, and when you break that flag, like, maybe a flag trader would measure the distance of here, the width of the highest part of the flag, and then say if we break the flag, they're looking for an equidistant. That's how a flag trader would see this. They'd say, okay, this is 50 points. If we break it, I'll expect a 50-point move.
Right.
Now, I see these patterns. I'm aware of them, but like it's not what I'm basing my
Yeah.
my stuff off of. But yeah, I mean, once you get some charts in front of you, like you get some software on your screen, like, I mean, I'm sure most of your showings aren't in the morning, and maybe on some days, they're probably
Yeah.
afternoons or
Right.
something, weekends, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And I mean, I could schedule stuff if I can
yeah,
later in the day.
for sure. And whatever, if you miss a day, it's not like,
Right.
you're missing
I don't know. I hope I can get this out. It's right now it looks like holy fuck. I don't know if I'll ever get this.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's so funny. I've had people, like, I've had 80-year-old people, like, I remember one time I said something in my chat room. I was like, this really isn't something you pick up at 80 years old. And this woman emailed me. She's like, I want to let you know. She's like, both me and my husband watch your stuff, and we're both over 80, so we are learning from you. I was like, okay, well, hell, I'm like, who am I to say anything? I'm like, I guess I don't know, because I don't know. I don't really know who's watching me.
Right.
Like, there's just people on the internet for all I know,
Right.
unless somebody tells me.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's people with all sorts of different backgrounds. I mean, like,
Right.
I mean, like I said, Perry might be older than you. Let's see, his picture is somewhere on here, but yeah, he was a computer programmer
Was he really?
Yeah, so
For who?
he worked for Sprint. That's so funny. So when Sprint through '08, he programmed what was their software that helped them do their financial reporting, and like that was kind of like just his job. But like it's just such a big corporation, nobody really knows what's going on.
Right.
And so during the '08 or whatever, they just were letting people go, and they like let him go. But then once they realized that, oh my God, he's the only guy that knows how to write, like he wrote the system that writes our financial reports, and they like realize that, oh fuck, we let the guy go that like the only guy that knows how to do this.
Yeah.
And so they panicked. They called him back. They're like, hey, like, oh, sorry, we like want you back. He's like, go fuck yourself, you know, because like he's like, you guys like just left me high and dry, and he's like, figure it out, you
Right.
know. And he's just been trading, you know. He just by that time it was because it was an easy job for him at that time. He had
Yeah.
coded the whole thing,
Right.
and that's why they let him go because they're like, well, the guy's not doing anything. It's like, yeah, because he automated his damn job, you
Right.
know. But he's the only one that knows how to work it.
correct it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Looks like we're finally getting that push lower. Yeah, I mean, as far as understanding, like there's, I mean, like, so the course that I have, it's all of it's like pre-recorded stuff. So like, I'm going in here and I'm saying things and I'm using terms that like mean, like, if you were to come here like you are right now, you don't understand most of the terms I'm using. You don't understand, you know, most, and that's totally normal, obviously.
Right.
But basically, it's like just a breakdown of teaching terms and stuff. But like, even if once you learn how to like place like orders and understand the basis of like just what a futures contract is. If I'm placing a trade, am I risking 5,000 or $50? Okay,
Right.
let's risk $15 or you
Right.
know, or whatever, or don't just play along. But then from there, once you start actually just acting on the trades, or even if you want to, if you're more comfortable in options, you can learn like, because my course is like, you have that basic stuff that's, you know, okay, what's the NASDAQ? What's the ES?
Right.
What's the tick value? That's just like your algebra or like your addition, right?
Right.
And then you get in to the some of the charting stuff. But when you have a guidance like on a day by day, like Perry comes in, he marks up, you know, 3 levels or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, you can just use, you don't have to complicate it, you know, you just start with, oh, let me pick a buy level and a sell level,
Right.
and test it out, and not did get to you, but like, I mean, you know, you're able to see this all day, my positioning, I'm walking through verbally in the morning. I mean, like I said, like you said, I'd go hoarse if I was talking all day, you
Right.
know, I
Right.
just
Of
kind of
course.
talk in the morning, walk people through,
Right.
and I was like, if they got a question, they can ask me here,
Yeah.
and I'll answer it, and I just type it out or whatever, but
Right.
yeah.
So how do I get from this big screen then back down to where I was
Okay,
before?
so yeah, so you go right click again and then restore, and then of course you can switch back and forth. Oops. So you exited out a couple of things.
Oh
So
yes.
if which is fine. So if you
Will
wanted
it save
to,
them at least?
so yeah, so we can go here and then we just detach, and that opens up a new grid, and then save it. We're gonna reload.
So those other ones I don't have probably.
The other ones we initially loaded, yeah, we exited out. We didn't need those. This is really what I wanted to get on you.
Okay.
So you have this, and then I'll save this entire thing together. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna reload this. So this is how you go here, and then this one I keep as what I call my 3 vertical. This is gonna load it with the studies. So this is everything I trade basically, and then those numbers I'm just getting just a bias off of. Um, okay, and then if I want a new grid, you gotta go here, and then this just basically duplicates everything here, but we don't need this duplicated, so instead we're gonna just load the other one. So we're gonna go in here and just CLGC. So that's oil and gold, and then this whole layout, I'll save it. So anytime you open Thinkorswim in general, we're gonna go setup. We're gonna save this workspace, and we're just gonna call it main. Okay, so at any point in time, you can this should auto populate anytime you
Okay.
open up your computer to this exact layout.
When I open it up on Thinkorswim.
Yeah, so you log in, this will literally just pop up.
Okay.
And then yeah, so then I mean, of course, if you extend a monitor, so like I typically will just have like ES and Q on this screen, and then I just kind of like toggle back and forth. I think you really only need like 2 monitors. I mean, sometimes it's like helpful if it depends on if you're executing on
You mean
different
two
things.
monitors like that?
Yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
much more than that. But also, I mean, like this, I mean, laptops aren't really that expensive.
No.
I've had like this is as powerful as it gets, but like I said, the most I need this for is streaming.
Oh, yeah.